Inside the room I slowly wake, my gaze sweeping the unfamiliar ceiling. Where is this? Before the thought finishes, fragmented memories pour in. Uchiha, Kanova, chakra. I sort through them and the strange terms start to fit together. Undoubtedly I have transmigrated. The original owner of this body shares my name but is a member of the UCHIHA clan of Kanova. Chiangmyong, 10 years old, 4th grade ninja academy student. He had heard the news of his parents' deaths after school that afternoon and, overwhelmed by grief, accidentally died, leaving his shell to me. None of that matters compared to the larger truth. This is the shinobi world during the Warring States period. Lives are as cheap as grass here. Even high-ranking shinobi live precariously, and being inside the strongest hidden village does not change the math. The body I inherited belongs to the troublesome UCHIHA clan, and after the nine-tailed beast attack, the clan extermination is coming. Troubles stacked on troubles. Sigh. I thought dying from overwork was tragic enough. Now I have to do it again. What about transcendent power, you ask? Even after such a major shock, the original owner had not awakened his Sharingan. His physique is not merely poor, it is trash. Chakra. There is a little. But this world runs on bloodline. The closer you are to the original ancestor, the higher the potential. Otherwise, at most, you end up like Shisai, a fleeting moment of glory. I have no thought of saving the world. I am clear about my own capabilities. Maybe I have some ability, but trying to forge a different path the way the protagonist does is almost impossible. If only I had a golden finger. The moment my words trail off, a light blue translucent panel appears in my field of vision. Name, Changmyong. Age, 10. Physique, 5. Spirit, 7. Chakra, 60 out of 125. Bloodline, Sharingan. Unawakened, 51 out of 100. Skills, none. A system panel. I shoot upright, the despair swept away. Although I am not sure what this is for, at least there is hope. Physique and spirit values are the interesting part. Physique covers physical potential, recovery, reaction speed, muscle density, bone strength. Spirit covers mental potential. My 5 and 7 look decent, but for a Uchiha the 5 is somewhat low. The bloodline should give better. Spirit at 7 is likely boosted by my arrival, otherwise the original would not have failed to awaken his Sharingan after losing both parents at once. The bottleneck is body, not heart. I file the problem away. The skill bar is empty, which is strange. I should have inherited at least the basic ninjutsu my predecessor knew. Is it because I have not personally practiced? I stand up, mobilize chakra, and slowly form the 3 hand seals for the clone technique. The chakra burns away with no result. Wait, the skill bar distorts and a line appears. Clone technique, LV0, 1 out of 100. So that is the rule. I have to do it myself. I mobilize chakra and try again, fail again, but the panel jumps to 3 out of 100. A proficiency system, 2 extra points this time, likely thanks to my predecessor's residual memories accelerating the relearning. I take a deep breath, focus on his memories of practice, and replicate them. A puff of chakra smoke appears and vanishes. The technique fails, but proficiency climbs to 6. Confirmed. This way I can quickly reclaim everything the former body had and conceal any abnormalities. With Yamanaki mind-reading clans and the Ambu watching, even a small slip could be fatal. I keep going until my chakra runs out. Sitting cross-legged, I follow the memories, sink spirit into body, draw out cellular energy, blend with spirit, transform into chakra, route it through the meridians. The meridian map in my head is the one every Uchiha child learns by their 7th winter. Drawn over and over in chalk on the wooden floor of the clan dojo, until the lines become as familiar as the back of one's own hand. The energy moves cleanly along the central spine, branches into the 4 limbs, gathers at the dantian, then spreads in a slow tide through the lesser channels. The first cycle is rough, the second smoother. By the third, the body has remembered how this is done. An hour later, I open my eyes. Panel, chakra, 52 of 126. Skills, chakra refinement, LV0, 1 of 100. Clone technique, LV0, 6 of 100. Just like the clone technique, after I personally refined chakra, a chakra refinement skill appeared. At LV0, it raises my chakra limit by 1 and restores 50 chakra per hour and gains 1 proficiency per hour. As its level rises, the effect will climb. With that, I close my eyes and refine again. Another hour. My chakra is near full, and I stop. Refining is not free, it consumes physical and spirit energy. After merging memories and exploring the panel, my spirit is already exhausted, and pushing further would only halve my returns. The recovered chakra cannot be wasted though, so I burn it on 5 more clone technique attempts. All fail, but according to the panel I am 4/5 of the way there. The bottleneck now is chakra, and I am not some genius with a vast pool at 10. Step by step then. After a quick wash I head to bed. Outside the window a figure appears at some unknown moment. Crimson eyes glow brightly in the night. An Uchiha shinobi with active Sharingan. He stares for a while then silently disappears. The next morning I wake and check the panel. Chakra, 37 of 127. Chakra refinement, LV0, 2. Clone technique, LV0, 19. After a night's rest, my body has recovered over 30 chakra without any active refining. I do not consume it. I have school today and may need it. I had considered taking days off to fully reclaim my predecessor's legacy in private, but absence would attract more attention. Going to school and keeping a low profile is safer. If I reveal flaws, I can blame the parental shock. I tidy up, eat, and rush to the ninja academy. The UCHIHA clan still occupies the central area near the school, so I arrive quickly. Following memory, I find the classroom. People greet me along the way and I nod back. Fortunately, my predecessor was relatively aloof like most clan shinobi, so the act is easy. Ding-a-ling-ling. The bell rings. Sugimon-sensei, a shinobi in his 20s, walks in. From memory, I know he treats students about the same regardless of clan, so the Uchiha surname will not draw trouble. As I think this, his eyes land on me and my heart pounds. He looks away quickly and starts the lesson. I cannot focus. That gaze was not casual. Did he discover something? Ding-a-ling-ling. The dismissal bell jolts me back. I had blanked through an entire class. Sugimon-sensei looks at the distracted me, shakes his head, calls dismissed, and leaves. He had known about my parents. The academy briefs teachers when any student loses family, so they can intervene before the student spirals. He had planned to counsel me today, but last night a Uchiha shinobi had asked him to hold off, because the clan wanted to see whether grief would awaken my Sharingan. For the higher-ups, an ordinary clansman becoming useless meant nothing. Awaken Sharingan meant a huge gain. Sugimon-sensei's sense of responsibility was not strong enough to override the clan's request, so he just let it slide. I knew none of this and was still feeling guilty about his attention. After more thinking, I guess he just knew about the deaths and was paying me extra mind. I let out a breath. Morning theory passes. With an adult mindset, my predecessor's memories I keep up. Afternoon practical I can muddle through unless ninjutsu is being tested. Ninjutsu is tested weekly. The rest of the time goes to combat and ninja tools. The last test was 3 days ago, so I have 4 days to grind the clone technique to entry level. Enough. That afternoon on the training ground, Sugimon-sensei announces a change. He will pair students up and have them all fight at once. No stopping until he calls it. No quitting even when defeated. The class breaks into noise. Fights used to happen one pair at a time with the teacher critiquing. This is new. I feel something else. Urgency. Combat training like this normally waits until 5th or 6th grade. Pulling it forward means the curriculum has been accelerated, and given Konova's situation, it is not hard to guess they intend us to graduate early. That tracks. Wartime always shortens the school cycle. The annual graduation assessment runs October 7th through 10th. Results go up over 3 days, and the Hogeki's office finalizes registration on October 15th. Today is September 3rd, meaning a month at the earliest before I am pushed out the door. The urgency tightens. Quiet, Sugimon-sensei booms, and the noise stops. He calls names and pairs them up. My partner is Kichi, a civilian class student whose physique was roughly equal to my predecessor's. The current me has no confidence against him. I have a 10-year-old's body and zero combat experience from my previous life. Fortunately, my adult mental fortitude lets me stay calm. Sugimon-sensei adds, "No weapons in this fight." Good. I need experience, not unnecessary cuts. Indeed, I am already prepared to take a beating. I just hope it is not for nothing. Form the seal of confrontation. Start. Kichi lunges, right fist toward my face. Even prepared, I am caught off guard, but muscle memory or my predecessor's reflexes pull me through. I dodge by a hair and counter, throwing a punch at his cheek. Thud. He blocks, pivots on his left foot, twists, swings his right leg at my head. Damn, just a kid and he hits this hard. I curse inwardly, feeling the wind by my ear. This is shinobi combat, ruthless to themselves and worse to enemies. And this is just the warm-up. Once weapons are allowed, it gets worse. To survive in this world, I have to adapt fast, system or no system. I stop overthinking and pour myself into the fight, absorbing my predecessor's legacy at maximum speed. The training ground never quiets. People wail in pain, but Sugimon-sensei never calls a halt. I get knocked down repeatedly. My predecessor's memories carry me a short distance, but my movements are stiff. The opening's obvious. I take a beating. Whether Kichi has a grudge against the original or simply enjoys hitting hard, my body is covered in bruises by the end of the day. Hiss. Rubbing my blackened eye on a walk home, I do not resent him. I want to thank him. A new skill has appeared on my panel. Taijutsu, Leave 0, 35 of 100. After one fight, it has overtaken clone technique as my fastest grower. My predecessor's level was likely early LV1, so 2 or 3 more sessions will integrate the legacy completely. All thanks to Kichi's heavy hand. That night I refined chakra again, exhaustion in my eyes, then pushed through and used the recovered chakra for clone technique drills. My movements are noticeably smoother, and I can complete the seals within 5 seconds. The school standard does not mean mastered though. The seals only assist. The real work is mobilizing and converting chakra during the process. With enough proficiency, one can simplify the seals or even use one hand. None of that for me yet. I have not even hit entry level. Poof. A distorted figure resembling me appears beside me. I dispel it and try again. 5 attempts, chakra exhausted. Panel. Chakra 11 of 131. Chakra refinement. LV0. 8. Clone technique. LV0. 46. Taijutsu. LV0, 35. 4 hours of refining tonight raised my limit 4 points. I recovered 200 chakra total. 10 clone technique attempts at 20 chakra each. 2 to 3 proficiency per attempt thanks to legacy memories. 27 points gained. Adding the previous 19 I am at 46, halfway to entry level. Chakra refinement also benefited from legacy experience, climbing 6 points. At 4 hours nightly I can grind refinement to entry in about half a month, after which the chakra problem eases and everything else accelerates. For now, slow. Pushing past my limit to grind faster has limited payoff. Even if I make Jonin in time, it will not change the outcome of a war sweeping the entire shinobi world. It would not even tip a local battle. Why exhaust myself for nothing? Worse, I am an outsider. Sudden strength gains will draw eyes and someone might catch my secret. Stick to the plan. I close the panel and sleep. Next afternoon, same training ground, but Shugimu-sensei has us throwing kunai and shuriken instead. Together with the 3-body techniques, throwing is the genin's primary weapon. Other ninjutsu are pointless here. My chakra is ordinary by clan standards but considered good by civilian standards. In post-graduation, the original owner would have had barely enough chakra to perform the 3-body techniques a few times. Civilian students fare worse. So the school does not bother teaching more. Clan students learn family techniques privately, and promising orphans get assigned to capable jonin, especially now when this batch will graduate early, even less incentive to teach. Thud. A kunai sinks into a target board 5 meters away. I exhale. If I had missed, I would have been at a loss. Sugemu-sensei has been glancing my way the whole time, just like during the Kichi fight. I have excuses ready, but he never asks. I cannot tell whether to feel lucky or sad. Panel. Chakra. 44 of 131. Ninja tool throwing. LV0. 1 of 100. As expected, a new skill. I throw another kunai. Narrow hit. +1. My eyes light up. This skill might reach entry level first, since throwing does not consume chakra. As long as I am below my predecessor's level, I can grind freely. I glance at Sugemu-sensei in the distance. Will he flag this? I retrieve my kunai, walk to the 10-meter target, and start practicing seriously. I miss several times, which slows the proficiency climb, but is worth it because my predecessor missed at the 10-meter board too. Frequent misses look natural here in a way they would not at 5 meters. Whoosh. 6 shuriken fly together, all hitting. Proficiency +3, multi-throws give multiple points. In under 2 hours I reach LV0, 96. A few more, Lev 1, 1 of 200. The level up feels like punching through a thin sheet of paper. A clear new understanding of the technique. I grab a kunai and toss it casually. It pins itself perfectly. Is this what basic mastery feels like? I throw the rest of the practice tools, all hitting cleanly, then check the panel, and the joy vanishes. After all those throws, ninja tool throwing only ticked up 1. Is it a Lev 1 restriction or something else? Half an hour of testing later, I have the answer. 2 reasons. My predecessor's skill ended near here, so the legacy has stopped boosting me, and LV1 ninja tool throwing only counts bullseye hits. Of the throws I just fired off, only 1 shuriken clips center. The system cannot be cheated. Sweat for sweat, no skipping. That is fine. People give up not from lack of will, but from lack of visible progress. As long as every drop of effort moves the needle, most people will keep going. I refocus. Hitting the board is easy, but bullseye dead center takes real concentration. Kunai after kunai flies. Most miss the bullseye, only 10% hit. The wrist has to release the kunai at exactly the apex of its rotation. The elbow has to commit to the line a half second before the fingers open. The eyes have to track the bullseye and not the kunai. None of these instructions individually are hard. Combining them in the same throw, every throw, is the work of 1,000 repetitions. Slowly, painfully, the proficiency climbs. School ends. Panel. Chakra, 21 of 131. Ninja tool throwing, LV1, 29 of 200. Half an afternoon for 28 points and 20 stamina spent. Even an Iron Man would tire. Worth it. At today's pace, I hit LV2 within a week, at which point my throwing alone matches Genin, who graduated 2 or 3 years ago. Survival odds up. Throwing alone is not enough. Taijutsu and the 3-body techniques have to keep up too. Taijutsu I can grind passively with Sugemu-sensei's matches. 3-body techniques. Once I clear the assessment in 3 days, I will add substitution and transformation. They do not match higher rank opponents but work fine against equals. Before graduation, I want all 3 at LV2 or even LV3. Home. I refine chakra 2 hours, drill clone technique until empty. Refine 2 more hours, drill again. 2 cycles late into the night, then sleep. School, train, repeat. A week. A knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Since transmigration, I have spoken to no one outside school who would visit. The Canova name and central district location keep the petty crooks away, and the few real troublemakers are either too young or out of the village. I open the door. A Canova shinobi in a flak jacket stands there. "Changmyung," he says. I nod. My name is Haruto, he says, here to deliver the survivor's pension from the Hogake's office. I tap my predecessor's memories and put on a sorrowful look at the right beat. Haruto continues, the clan adds 10,000 ryo monthly for living expenses until you become Genin. He hands over an envelope. Thank you. I bow and take it. The door closes. The grief drops. I have no real attachment to the parents I never met, but for the sake of compensation money I will offer flowers at their graves yearly, provided I survive. Inside the envelope, 1,010,000 ryo. No one embezzled. Both my predecessor's parents were chunin. Standard death compensation is 500,000 each, plus the 10,000 allowance, exactly 1,010,000. Makes sense. If the clan skimmed even this, it would have no internal cohesion left. A million sounds like a lot, but it is not. D rank missions pay 5,000 to 50,000, C rank 30 to 100, B rank 80 to 200, A rank 150 to 1 million, S rank above. Chunin take C and B, Jonin take B and A. Even with village cuts and team splits, 1 million is not difficult. A bowl of ramen costs 60 ryo. 3 meals a day of ramen runs 5,400 a month, and that is just food. For a shinobi, training costs are the real burden. A pack of plain shuriken runs 500, a single explosive tag 200, a roll of steel wire of decent grade 3,000, a basic kunai with chakra conducting metal 1,500. Burn a single training afternoon and you have spent a month of an ordinary worker's wages. 10,000 a month is barely above starvation. Investing in cultivation is impossible on it. With this million, I can finally afford soldier pills, and not just the basic ration block. The better grades, the ones the Akumichi sell to clan shinobi, the ones that absorb without the cramping aftertaste. I head to the Akumichi lead in medicine. Their products are the gold standard. The most useful thing for me turns out to be the standard soldier pill, the kind that replaces a meal, supplies all needed nutrients, and is the standard ration on missions. Some special pills can briefly boost shinobi strength, but I do not need those. Just food substitutes. Skipping meals lets me extend chakra refinement sessions and burn the recovered chakra on more drills. Stacking proficiency across multiple skills at once. I buy a large quantity in one go under the clerk's strange gaze. Soldier pills attract no real attention. If I had bought other supplies, the village might have noticed. Just to be safe, I plan to stop eating out for a while, so people will think I am training hard and using the pills as meals. Home. Panel. Chakra. 17. Max risen from 131 to 159. Chakra refinement. LV0. 53. Clone technique, LV1, 2 of 200. Substitution, LV0, 77. Transformation, LV0, 77. Transformation, LV2, 10 of 500. Over the past week, I have run chakra refinement 4 hours a night. 6 proficiency most sessions, occasionally 7, totaling 45 points in 7 days. Refinement is now 53 of 100. Chakra max climb 28, from 131 to 159. Not much yet, but hope is visible. Keep going and I will become a chakra monster, maybe even a tailed beast host in capacity. The 200 chakra recovered daily all went into ninjutsu. First 2 days I pushed clone technique to LV1, cleared the academy assessment without trouble. After LV1 only 1 proficiency per attempt, so I shifted to substitution and transformation. Legacy memories make those climb at 2 to 3 per attempt, so in 5 days they reach 77 and 71. Entry level within 2 or 3 more days, after which the legacy is exhausted. Taijutsu. 3 more matches over the past week pushed me past entry to Lev 1, 16 of 200, and that is where the legacy ends. From here I grind alone. Ninja tool throwing is still the fastest, LV2 now. At 10 meters fixed targets I bullseye 100%, already matching Genin from 2 or 3 classes back. The skill cap's somewhere though. Without the Sharingan I can probably grind to LV3 at most. The current bar is hitting bullseye on a 15 meter target, and LV2 to LV3 needs 500 proficiency. Fully maxed without Sharingan. My throwing should match an average Chunin or Jonin, but kill range is limited unless I can use Sharingan tricks, mostly useful for ambushes, swarms, or weaker targets. The Sharingan progress bar reads 51 of 100 and refuses to move. I have tried several methods without result, but it is shown on the panel, so it can advance. I just have not found the trigger. I close the panel, take a soldier pill, crunch, bitter explodes in my mouth, my eyes twitch. No wonder no one likes these. I swallow with effort. A warm current spreads through my limbs. I sit cross-legged and run chakra refinement. 2 hours later I am full. I switch to substitution and transformation drills. Substitution is simple. Mobilize chakra step by step to alter appearance. Wait, that is transformation. Substitution is different. It requires a prepared prop, like a wooden plank. The technique is not actual teleportation but an illusion trick. At the moment of attack you swap your body for the prop. The opponent misjudges, and you counter or escape. Timing is everything. Used well it is divine. Used poorly it just gives more openings. Even at peak it has a limit. The swap process always shows a brief opening, which means little among Genin and Chunin, but is fatal between Jonin who can all read those moments. So Jonin rarely use it for deception. For me, though, that is far away, and the substitution remains a rare life-saving skill. Practice never feels tedious. 10 minutes later, my chakra is gone. Soldier pill refine. 2 hours full. Drill again. By midnight, I finish my final round. Today's extra 2 hours of refining added 2 to my chakra max and 3 proficiency to refinement. The extra 100 chakra-fed substitution and transformation, gaining over a dozen points each. Many a mickle makes a muckle. A day of this? What about a month, a year? A year is far. A month I can picture. If refining and drilling were not so taxing, and if soldier pills did not cause indigestion, I would grind through the night. Stretch, yawn, wash, bed. A figure appears on a utility pole outside the window. A pair of crimson Sharingan stare in, observing. The eyes catalog. Chakra signature, breathing pattern, the specific weight distribution of a body that has been running through hand-seal repetitions for hours. The watcher's face is impassive. He has done this surveillance before, on other clansmen who were supposed to be on the verge of breakthrough, and who never quite reached it. The verdict is the same one he had filed last night and the night before. A moment later, the figure vanishes. Inside the Uchiha district, the clan head's residence. Knock, knock, knock. Come in. Haruto enters, bows. Clan head. The old man looks up. Oh, Haruto. Something. Reporting on Chung Myung's observation. The old man's eyes flash. Has he awakened the Sharingan? No. Haruto shakes his head. No chakra explosion. Mental state stable. Basically confirmed no qualification to awaken. Even with the parental death stimulus, qualified candidates either awaken on the spot or show body and spirit changes that lead to awakening with one more push. He showed neither. The old man feels the expected disappointment. Continue observing, clan head. No need, the old man waves. You may leave. Yes. Haruto exits. I do not know that today was my last chance to be highly valued by the clan. Awakening today would not have made me a meteoric star, but my path would have been smoother, possibly even a clan bodyguard during my Genin stage. The Uchiha are difficult externally but united internally, that traitor aside. Without Sharingan, I am denied the genius treatment. I do not care. My reliance was never the Uchiha. With the system, I will grow regardless. 5 days later, near the end of school, the 5 days had passed in the blur that all good training stretches blur into. Wake, refine, drill, eat a soldier pill. Drill, eat, drill, refine. Sleep. The body adapts. The body always adapts when the mind refuses to let it not. Clap, clap, clap. Sugimura-sensei calls everyone over. Teacher, school is almost done. What is it? The 30-plus students cluster around in noise. I stand at the edge, silent. His serious expression tells me what is coming. Silence, he shouts. Once they quiet, he announces, the Hogeki's office has decided to convert your annual assessment in half a month into a graduation exam. Those who pass become Jonin, real shinobi. I had anticipated it, but hearing it confirmed sharpens the urgency. The other students cheer. Teacher Sugimu, really, can we really become shinobi early? Naive. They have been protected too well. They have no idea what shinobi work in this period actually means. If I could, I would stay in school forever. I just hope they are not thrown straight to the front lines after graduation. Home. Panel. Chakra. 21. Max 189. Chakra refinement. LV0. 98. Clone technique LV1 20. Substitution LV1 19. Transformation LV1 18. Taijutsu LV1 65. Ninja tool throwing LV2 42. 5 days, another notch. Chakra max up 30 to 189. Not a real shinobi's pool yet, but upper middle for my peers, and I am only 10. The shinobi golden growth period runs 12 to 16, and before that the gap is small except for true geniuses. Pulling away early like this earns me the minor genius label. Counting the level 1-3 body techniques in taijutsu with LV2 throwing, I would already rank upper middle even among previous 6-year graduates. With 15 days until the exam, I can squeeze in another notch. By then, still not safe enough for the front lines. I lack a trump card. Conveniently, chakra refinement is at LV0, 98. About to break through. Once it hits LV1, restoration efficiency rises and I will have spare capacity for a higher level ninjutsu. My predecessor's parents left a few ninjutsu scrolls in the study. I will pick one once refinement levels. With the system, I do not need to worry about being unable to learn. As long as the chakra nature does not conflict, I can grind anything to entry or beyond. Soldier pill. Refinement. 2 hours pass. My eyes snap open as new insights surface. A LV0 refinement excavates physical potential at efficiency 1. LV1 is 2. Same time, more chakra refined. I close my eyes and refine on the new understanding. Half an hour panel. Chakra 171 of 192. Chakra refinement LV1. 1 of 200. Half an hour at LV1 matches an hour at LV0. 50 chakra restored. Max +1. Pity I gain only 1 proficiency per hour at LV1 regardless, since the legacy has run out for this skill. No matter, I will likely have to up my soldier pill intake going forward, but those are minor problems. I head to the parents' study. Until now I had never properly sorted their belongings, only swept the room and noticed scrolls existed. Today properly, I opened the first, the Uchiha signature, Great Flame Ball technique. Spit a fireball from the mouth. High temperature burning plus explosive effect. Power scaling with chakra injected. C rank difficulty. Enough as a Chunin's trump. I opened more scrolls. 2 more ninjutsu. Phoenix Saga Flame Technique and Fire Style Dragon Flame Bomb. Both C rank but harder than Great Flame Ball. Phoenix Saga Flame in particular requires Great Flame Ball as foundation. 2 scrolls record Genjutsu. The first is Majin Hari Jigoku. Requires the Sharingan to perform. It constructs a spirit world and manifests iron stakes that pin the opponent and immobilize them through pain. My predecessor's parents had not awakened the Sharingan. Leaving this scroll for their son was a sign of hope. He never awakened it either. The second scroll's Genjutsu is strange. Majin Hari Jigoku I had at least heard of, but mind reflection art is unfamiliar. I unfurl it and read carefully. My expression shifts. Indifference, uncertainty, urgency, anticipation, then relief, then joy. Because this mind reflection art might solve my Sharingan stagnation. The next morning, early at the Ninja Academy, after Sugemu-sensei's long-winded graduation speech, I entered the exam room. The academy exam covers more than ninjutsu, code breaking, map drawing, theory. The first sessions are written. Compared to the Chunin exam, the academy paper is trivial. Common knowledge any genin must know, plus some ideological content like an essay on the Hogeki's role. I have not written an essay across either lifetime in over 10 years, but a piece of pure sycophancy is no problem. Ring ring. Morning passes, afternoon is free. I head home and resume training. Chakra refinement is 195 of 200 and about to level. 6 hours, 2 cycles, and refinement breaks to LV2, 1 of 500. I had expected it, but the actual feel of LV2 hits hard. Excavation efficiency has doubled again. 200 chakra per hour now, plus 4 to chakra max. Training efficiency takes another leap. Doubling the overall training output is impossible though. My body has limits. Even with abundant soldier pills, I cannot absorb infinitely. I am not Choji, who eats soldier pills like candy. For me, they are compressed food and too many cause indigestion. Over the past week, I had nearly maxed my body's tolerance. Pushing further now lifts efficiency maybe 1.5 times, not double. At least it saves time. The second day, like the first, ninjutsu is not tested. Today is taijutsu and ninja tool throwing. Because it goes one student at a time, progress is slow. Mid-afternoon, it is my turn. Cheongyang, 10 bullseyes, full marks. A commotion ripples through the room while I keep my predecessor's cold posture. Nothing to be proud of. At LV2, 120 of 510 meter target is trivial. I get full marks in taijutsu too. Or rather LV1, 100 of 200 guarantees full marks here. And anything above LV0, 80 passes. Standards are lax this year. Night passes in silence. Day 3. The students are tense. The prior days mattered, but this is the cut. Strength is the shinobi's only real currency. Theoretical knowledge alone is useless. As the saying goes, might makes right. Ninjutsu is the fist. If you cannot learn ninjutsu, you are nothing. Of course, the shinobi world has never lacked freaks like Rock Lee, whose ninjutsu talent is trash, but whose taijutsu is unparalleled. Most people do not get such exemptions, so today's exam is everything. Sitting in the back, I watch students go up one by one. The Lev 2 ninjutsu give me confidence. Sugemu-sensei lets each student pick one of the 3 body techniques. Clearly an ordered exemption. If a student knew only the clone technique, they could now pass by demonstrating clone alone. He is not blind to the loophole. Combined with yesterday's relaxed standards, Canova is obviously expanding its reserve forces. How many of these reserves will survive the battlefield is another matter. Chongmyung. I walk to the front, form seals, and perform the clone technique. 2 phantoms appear on either side of me. 3 seconds. Not bad. Sugemu-sensei nods, records the score, dismisses me. The classroom buzzes about Xiongmyeong-kun being amazing as I return to my seat. None of it touches me. I review the mind reflection art in my head. Genjutsu is harder to learn than ninjutsu in general, and this technique mimics the Sharingan's hypnotic ability, even more complex. Most genjutsu target others. The mind reflection art targets the self primarily, with sensory effects on others as a side product. Without the system, I would not dare attempt it. After 2 days of all-out drilling, I have it at LV0, 92 of 100. Tonight, I should hit entry level and learn whether it actually drives Sharingan awakening. Night in my room, I finish the seals, chakra surges, sharp light flashes through my eyes. A rabbit in a cage in front of me drops into deep sleep. Proficiency +1. Mind reflection art jumps from 99 to LV1. 1 of 200. As it levels up, a special chakra is born in my brain, flows through the meridians, surges into my eyes. My predecessor's parents had explained the Uchiha awakening. Clansmen are born with great capacity for love, and when love is lost, a special chakra surges from the brain into the optic nerves, transforming the eye. The process is incredibly similar to what just happened in my brain. Panel. Chakra. 415 of 580 going up to 622. Sharingan. Still 51 of 100. Chakra refinement. LV2, 9. Substitution Transformation Clone Technique. LV2, 1 each. Great Flame Ball Technique. LV0, 52. Mind Reflection Art. LV1. Taijutsu. Lev2, 1. Ninja Tool Throwing. LV2, 120. It did not change. I had not expected the mind reflection art to be useless. No, that is not right. I take a deep breath, calm myself, and perform the technique again. After Lev 1, I no longer need an external target. The catch is the chakra cost. LV1 mind reflection art consumes at least 200 points per cast. The substitution also changed cost at entry level, but nowhere near this much. It makes sense. Substitution is E rank and uses about 20 chakra. The mind reflection art is A rank, and it had already cost 100 per session before LV1. 200 now is reasonable. I sense the effect carefully. Special chakra floods to my eyes again. The panel still shows 51, but my own sensation says my eyes are moving towards Sharingan. The technique is working, the effect is just weak, so the awakening progress lags behind proficiency. The question is how many casts to push the bar by 1. Once, twice, thrice. Several hours later, when mind reflection art reaches LV1, 10 of 200, the Sharingan progress finally ticks to 52. I exhale, roughly 2,000 chakra per Sharingan progress point. Steep for a Genin, manageable for a Chunin spread across days. Even a once daily routine could awaken the Sharingan in a few months. So why has no one in the UCHIHA clan succeeded? Persisting for years is rare. Persisting for a few months is not. The clan's hunger for the Sharingan would push many through that. Yet no one has awakened via this technique. A gloom settles over me. I cannot work it out. Since I cannot, I drop it. The panel is moving. I just keep grinding. Conveniently, I have a few days off school. Time to push the Great Flame Ball to entry and confirm the Sharingan pattern. I yawn. 5 in the morning. I had stayed up for the answer. Rest now. Next day at noon. After eating, I head to the training ground for solo work. Refining first, leave 2 chakra refinement restores 600 chakra in 3 hours. Full again. I drill the Great Flame Ball. C rank, offensive, 50 chakra minimum per cast. At 52 of 100, I need 48 more casts to level. 2,400 chakra, which is roughly my daily ceiling. Unless I bump physique or find easier to absorb soldier pills, the cap holds. Boom. A fireball spits out, expands to 1.5 meters, smashes the ground, blasts a crater that radiates heat after the flame dies. By evening, Great Flame Ball is at LV075. Not yet entry, but I can succeed sometimes, which is already entry grade. The sun is setting. I head home for mind reflection art drills until late, then sleep. The next several days follow the same rhythm. 5 days later, early morning. I stand before the full-length mirror, brush hair off my forehead, tie on the forehead protector, straighten my clothes. There is a faint killing intent about me now. Graduating means stepping onto the path. From here, life or death is on me. Panel, chakra 312 of 622 going up to 862. Sharingan 52 going up to 57. Chakra refinement LV2, 69. Substitution transformation clone LV2, 1. Great Flame Ball LV0, 75 going up to LV1. Mind Reflection Art LV1, 10 going up to LV1, 65. Taijutsu LV2, 1. Ninja Tool Throwing LV2, 120. Over 5 days, I pushed Great Flame Ball to entry as a trump, then poured everything into Mind Reflection Art. Over 10,000 chakra netted 55 proficiency and 5 Sharingan progress points, confirming the pattern. 10 proficiency in Mind Reflection Art drives 1 Sharingan progress. Now I understand why no Uchiha has awakened it via this path. Each 10 proficiency requires positive feedback to keep grinding through, and without the panel showing direct progress, most people give up. Even with the panel, if my Sharingan started above 70, with LV0 and LV1 Mind Reflection Art useless, I would have wavered. The final points will not break easy. That is my hunch. But with the system I will persist. I leave the mirror, lock up, head to the academy. The classroom is filled with familiar and unfamiliar faces. I sit in the back wondering about my team. Half an hour later, a young teacher walks in with a list. Not Suginu-sensei. I have a vague memory of him. Genta-sensei, an instructor for another class. Quiet, please, he says. Congratulations. From today you are a true shinobi. The room buzzes. He claps for silence. As your teachers told you, today you get team assignments. 3-person squads led by an experienced jonin. From now on, you are each other's closest partners and most trusted comrades. The room buzzes again, friends arguing to be paired, others restless. He smiles, lets it run a few minutes, then calls order. He reads team after team. I hear my own. Team 7, Chongmyung, Hayato, Shizuko. My gaze sweeps forward. A boy and a girl with different expressions catch my eye. The boy looks lively. From memory, he is likely from another class. The girl is quiet. In my class, Jonin father, weak physique, strong theory. Without the Sharingan, I cannot read potential, but I assume both are decent. With my Uchiha status and exam scores, the higher-ups would not pair me with weak teammates. The leading Jonin would refuse such a mismatch. As for geniuses, Those do not appear yearly. The vast majority graduate hoping to one day make Chunin. The Chunin themselves spend their careers hoping not to die before they make Jonin, and most of them do not make it. The shinobi pyramid is brutally narrow at the top because the bottom is constantly being shaved away. I expect no genius teammate. To me, teammates are teammates. The battlefield is too dangerous to invest deeply, and grief over their deaths would be wasted. That is the lesson my predecessor's parents had clearly never managed to teach him. He had been, by all internal evidence, a soft child whose softness would have killed him at age 12, regardless of which mission he was assigned to. I have inherited his face and his name, and the soft remnants of his attachments. But the discipline that would have saved him is mine alone to install. Strictly professional. While I think this Genta-sensei finishes the list. Get to know each other. The leading Jonin will collect you shortly. He leaves. The room erupts with motion as people find their teams. Hello, my name is Hayato. Myung, I reply concisely. Then look at the girl. Shizuko shrinks, voice thin as a mosquito's. I am Shizuko. We sit together at Hayato's coaxing. He carries the conversation. Shizuko replies sometimes. I stay silent. From his chatter I learn his parents are technical specialists. One in the Cipher Division. One teaching at the academy. How parents like that produced a chatterbox is a mystery. Maybe he was suppressed at home. His voice cuts in on my thoughts. Myung, you have not mentioned your parents yet. They sacrificed themselves, I reply calmly. Hayato freezes, scratches his head awkwardly. Sorry, I did not know. It is fine, all in the past. He shuts his mouth. Shizuko looks like she wants to say something comforting, hesitates, then loses the courage. I do not prompt her. My predecessor might have needed comfort. I do not. Half an hour later, a dozen Jonin arrive. Well, mostly special Jonin. Shinobi between Chunin and Jonin who have unique expertise. With wartime Jonin scarce on the front lines, training the next generation is important, but secondary. For most students in this room, their potential is obvious at a glance. Not worth a true Jonin's full attention. Team 3, stand up. A special Jonin calls. Then Team 4, Team 5, Team 7, Myung, Shizuko, Hayato. A middle-aged shinobi with a scarred face stares at us. That is us, Sensei Hayato calls. He flips through files, nods, says follow me, and walks out. We follow. 10 minutes later we arrive at a remote training ground that should take half an hour from the village center. We did it in half that. I am fine. Hayato and Shizuko are gasping. Shizuko especially. Being a girl, her stamina is weaker. I do not help. This might be a test. I judge she will hold. Alright, this is the place. The Jonin says when we reach the center. We stop. His gaze sweeps us, lingers on me. Keeping up with my pace means you pass the initial test. A test? Shizuko gasps. Yes. On the battlefield, no matter your specialty, if your stamina cannot keep up, you have the highest chance of being sacrificed. Shizuko's face pales. A heavy first day topic. He moves on. Rest. Hayato and Shizuko sit. I stay standing. He glances at me without comment. While you rest. Introductions. Sure, Sensei, we do not even know your name. Hayato pipes up. My name is JONIN, 37. I like shogi and dislike rule breakers. You go first. Name, age, likes, dislikes, dream. Hayato bounces up. My name is Hayato, 10 years old. Like making friends. Hate cilantro. My dream is to become the Hogake. Hogak. Another one brainwashed by the will of Ember. I sigh inwardly. Juru-sensei nods expressionlessly. Turns to Shizuko. Shizuko has caught her breath. My name is Shizuko. I will be 10 after the new year. I like flower arrangement. I hate, she shakes her head. Nothing in particular. As for my dream, she gathers her courage. I want to become a kunoichi like Tsunaba-sama. Tsunaba's fame is real. No wonder she could become 5th Hogaki even after long absence. Half a generation of girls in the village have grown up wanting to be her. The medical 9 who can punch through a stone wall. The gambler with bad luck and a good heart. The disciple of 2 Hogake who carries her own legend regardless. For Shizuko, with her flower arrangement hands and her quiet voice and her Jonin father pushing her toward fields she is not strong enough to thrive in, Tsunaba is more than admiration. She is permission. Permission to be soft and devastating at once. Jiru-sensei turns to me. Your turn. My name is Myung, 10 years old. I like cultivating and hate trouble. My dream. I stop. I realize I have never thought about the future or any dream. Since transmigration I have feared exposure. After merging memories I have feared survival in the village. My horizon ends at surviving the clan massacre. Myung-kun, Shizuko pokes my arm. I shake my head. Nothing. After a pause I continue. My ideal is to awaken the Sharingan and become a powerful shinobi. I do not actually consider this an ideal. With the mind reflection art leveling, awakening is a matter of time. And with the system, becoming powerful is practically certain. My true ideal, to transcend this world and witness a broader horizon, since the Sage of 6 Paths existed in the cosmos, and was unlikely to be the only one. That I keep buried. Sharingan. What Sharingan? Hayato asks. Shizuko looks curious too. Before I answer, Jiru-sensei speaks. The Sharingan is the Uchiha clan's pride. A shinobi who awakens the Sharingan is at minimum JONIN level, and the strongest, he pauses, gaze shifting toward the Hogage mountain outside the village. The strongest can rival the Hogage. Madira's existence is no secret to veteran JONIN, but few of the new generation know him. The first Hogage, on the other hand, is famous to every aspiring student through the Hogage monument. Hearing that someone could rival him surprises them. Jiru-sensei does not pursue the topic. Madira is not absolute taboo, but talking too much about him brings unnecessary trouble. He had spoken from the heart after my ideal. He does not know much about the Uchiha, but he knows being assigned to him means I have little chance of awakening the Sharingan. Otherwise, an Uchiha Jonin would teach me directly. The Sharingan is an unreachable dream for me. He keeps that to himself. Better I have a star to chase. After half an hour's rest, Jiru-sensei claps. Have you rested? Time for the next test. Another test. Hayato shoots up in shock. Shizuko looks distressed. I had guessed it. Pre-team exercises vary by Jonin, but never as simple as a stamina run. The question is teamwork or mental fortitude. Unless it is something traumatic like Kakeshi's bell test, it should not be too hard, and Kanova needs manpower right now. Sending us back to the academy en masse defeats the point of early graduation. Even if I were sent back, I would not mind. Another year of low-profile training would push my survival rate higher. But that is impossible. Intentionally failing risks Byakugan inspection that would expose my chakra strength mismatch is suspicious. Spy treatment is worse than deserter. Better to flow with it. That was just the foundation test. The real one comes next. Also some news. Gulp. What news? If you failed the next test, back to the academy to repeat the year. What? Hayato jumps up. Repeating is unacceptable. Jiru-sensei, you are joking. He chuckles, pulls a scroll from his vest. Your goal. Take this from me. Time. Before noon. Sensei, you are Jonin and we are 3 Genin. How? He cuts in. I will not attack first and I will limit my methods to Genin level. See that mountain. We follow his point. About an hour's journey. I head there now. Ambush, sneak attack, whatever. Take the scroll before noon. So that is how it is, Hayato muses. I roll my eyes inwardly. 3 fresh Genin against the Jonin's combat experience even at limited strength. But Jiru-sensei would not make it impossible. The test is real combat shaped, meant to size up our abilities and tendencies for tailored coaching. As he steps away, I lunge, drawing kunai mid-stride. Most block escape routes, 2 go straight for throat and heart. Ringed metal, he blocks the killing. 2 with his own kunai. The opening is mine. I close, slashing for chest and abdomen. He smiles, steps back, evades cleanly through pure adult's child reach. No complaints. The battlefield does not care about age. Physical disadvantage has to become balance or advantage, not blame. I sway, circle to his side like a monkey, dodge the counter, sweep right leg toward his back. Why not the head? Too short. He ducks the kick, elbow comes up at my face. I block with crossed arms. Thump, my arms go numb and I am sent flying. Mid-air I right myself and land somewhat gracefully. Chong-myung-kun. Shizuko and Hayato finally react and step in front of me. Kunai out. Are you alright? Fine, I rise. Jiru-sensei sheathes his kunai. Chong-myung, your strength is decent, but alone you cannot take this scroll. With a few leaps he disappears into the dense forest. Hayato and Shizuko exhale. I do not mind. The engagement was probing both for opportunity and for measurement. Chong-myung, what do we do? Both look to me. They have already accepted me as leader, which was the point. Strength earns followership where words cannot. Since this is a test, there is no fatal danger. We just give everything. Yes. Why did I not think of that? Hayato grins. Let us go. I plan. I take point. Shizuko middle, Hayato rear. What? Hayato asks. Jiru-sensei said no proactive attacks. Why watch the rear? Better safe than sorry. He agrees grudgingly. Shizuko, no problem. We chase Jiru-sensei's direction. Underground, hidden by Earth style, he watches and nods. Caution at all times despite an explicit no-attack guarantee, and the bold opening attack earlier, cautious yet decisive, a natural-born shinobi. I do not know I have earned that high evaluation just by acting on past life memory. Even if I did, I would not care. What matters is being strong. We sprint through the forest, find the deliberate trail, clear traps along the way. Near noon we reach the peak. Jiru-sensei stands waiting with the scroll. Time is short. What will you do? Hayato and I exchange a glance and rush from the left and right. Shizuko gathers herself and throws kunai and shuriken to restrict his movement. He flickers around her. Throws. I close. Slash for waist and abdomen. Clink. Blocked. Hayato comes in from the back. Kunai aimed at the spine, and his motion hesitates, fear of really hurting Jiro-sensei, missing the opening. Jiro-sensei sidesteps. Kid, when facing an enemy, but he sees Hayato suddenly smile and snake his left hand toward the chest pocket where the scroll sat, far nimbler than before. Not good. Cunning kid, he leans back. Hayato's left barely brushes the chest, not enough to retrieve the scroll. Jiru-sensei exhales. Close. At that moment, Hayato's right hand flips and stabs the kunai cleanly into Jiro-sensei's lower abdomen. The Cheongmyeong rushing up cries out, and his form ripples from my likeness into Hayato's likeness. Jiro-sensei looks down at the Hayato in front of him with admiration in his eyes, then dissolves into chakra smoke. The scroll falls. I pick it up and cancel the transformation, reverting from Hayato to me. Right, both Cheongmyeong and Hayato just now were swapped. Before showing ourselves, we used transformation to switch identities. The only way to seize the scroll, what I had not expected was Jiro-sensei being a clone too. A clone alone leading us by the nose makes a Jonin's strength clear. Clap, clap, clap. The real Jiro-sensei walks out of the forest. Hayato and Shizuko greet him. He looks at me. You did not hesitate at all when you attacked. Were you not afraid of hurting me? Sensei is a Jonin. That strike could not have hurt you, and without the resolve to kill you, we could never have taken the scroll. Not bad. He nods, turns to the others. You two were not bad either. So we passed, Hayato asks. Of course. No academy repeat. Yeah, Hayato shouts excitedly. Shizuko brightens. I keep my serious face, though the corners of my mouth tug. There is no other reason than that lately I have been eating so many soldier pills I'm ready to vomit. Sensei treats us to barbecue. Free meal earned legitimately. Happy. Afternoon, Uchiha District. Home. Recalling Jiro-sensei's pained expression as he paid earlier, I almost laugh. Trivial. The morning was a wasted training window. Time to catch up. At this stage, with chakra refinement still under LV3 and physique/spirit stable, daily usable chakra runs 2,400 to 2,500. 2,000 goes to mind reflection art, netting 10 proficiency and 1 Sharingan progress per day. In under half a month, Sharingan should hit 70. Past that, the mind reflection art will be level 2 and the cost per cast might shift, so the plan will shift with it. Tomorrow 9 in the morning, gather at the mission office. We officially start taking missions. Frowning. Canova is not throwing newbies at the front lines, but they will not let us idle. Find the cat. Garbage pickup. Babysit. There is also the unspoken purpose of D ranks, putting fresh gene into prolonged contact with their team and their teacher under low-stakes conditions, so the cracks in chemistry surface before the cracks matter. Many a squad that looked promising on paper has fallen apart because 2 members could not stop snapping at each other across a fence painting commission, and the village would rather know that now than watch it happen mid-rank later. Familiarization with mission flow, fine, but it eats training time. To maximize chakra use, I need over 10 hours of meditation daily for refining. Missions and that conflict. 3 paths to resolve. Raise physique/spirit, no short-term hope. Level chakra refinement to LV3. 500 proficiency at 12 points a day means over a month. And the third, boost chakra control to reduce cost per ninjutsu. Next day, afternoon. Under Jiro-sensei, we pick up trash in a river at Konova's edge. Hayato complains. I wade with my feet not touching the riverbed. Water walking. A few minutes later, chakra control LV0, 60 going up to 61. The third method, better chakra control means less chakra per technique, sidestepping the time problem. Tree climbing and water walking are the village's standard exercises, because gathering chakra at the soles is the most delicate skill. A slight error fails, so success forces accurate control. Panel, chakra 215 of 862 going up to 910. Sharingan 57 going up to 58. Chakra refinement, LV2. 81. Substitution transformation clone LV2 1. Great flame ball LV1 1. Mind reflection art LV1 65 going up to LV1 77. Taijutsu LV2 1. Ninja tool throwing LV2 120. Chakra control needs little chakra and no dedicated time. At LV0 61 I save about 3% per technique. Small alone but compounding and rising as I level it. Same chakra, more casts. A roundabout solution to the time problem. The only side effect is slower chakra refinement proficiency, which is not my focus right now. Cheongmyeong, what are you doing? Hayato has noticed my feet on the surface, water clear enough to show them suspended. I explain. What is the use of that, he asks. Jiro-sensei answers from a distance, extremely useful. He walks over. Sensei, all 3 of us greet him. He glances at my soles, continues. Mastering this saves chakra learning and releasing ninjutsu, and lets you sustain longer in battle. Then can we learn it? Hayato asks eagerly. Jiro-sensei thinks. I had not planned to teach this so early, but since Cheongmyeong started, you two should join. He had noticed me earlier. Not saying anything was to see how far I would go unguided. The result confirmed genius tier chakra control, even mid-training and not in optimal form. Lifting it like that in hours is rare. With proper guidance, tree climbing first, my progress would have been faster, but I had no need for the standard ladder. With the system, gathering chakra at the soles for any duration banks proficiency. Sensei, are we doing tree climbing too? Hayato asks. No, why is that not how Cheongmyeong is doing it? That is because he is a genius, Jiro-sensei wants to say, but does not. Would dampen them. Tactfully, everyone's situation is different. Cheongmyeong starts on water. You too cannot. So how do we practice? Tree climbing. Hayato and Shizuko echo. Jiru-sensei nods, tells me to keep at it on my own, and leads them to the forest. Then the familiar loop. Gathering chakra, sprinting, climbing, falling again. Both practice exceptionally hard. Hayato is competitive under his casualness. For all his chatter and his early morning yawns, the moment a goal is set in front of him, he becomes another person. The smile thinner, the focus sharper, the body moving past discomfort without acknowledging it. He had hidden it well in the academy, but 2 months on the team have made the pattern obvious. Shizuko is soft outside, tough inside. Once she sets her mind, she will spare nothing. Her stubbornness is the kind that absorbs failures without changing course. She will fall off the same tree 30 times before she finds the chakra balance. And on the 31st attempt, she will not even celebrate, because she will already be running through the next refinement in her head. Neither is mediocre. They would not have made it onto a true Jonin's team otherwise. Yet I had never heard of either in my past life knowledge. They likely die in the upcoming war or subsequent missions. The shinobi world is cruel, and the path is dangerous. Whenever I think this, I cannot relax. Every moment for self-improvement and forward planning. Time flies. Half a month, early November. Uchiha District, my home, late at night. I finish the last cycle and open the panel. Chakra, 16 of 1,546. Sharingan 58 going up to 71. Substitution, LV2, 81 going up to 240. Substitution, LV2. 1 going up to 140. Transformation LV2, 1 going up to 130. Clone Technique LV2, 1 going up to 110. Great Flame Ball LV1, 1 going up to LV1, 16. Mind Reflection Art LV1, 77 going up to LV2, 1 of 500. Taijutsu LV2, 1 going up to 150. Ninja Tool Throwing LV2, 120 going up to 260. Chakra Control, LV0, 61 going up to LV2, 350. Half a month orderly. By day, I follow the team on low-skill missions. By night, I grind. Missions hurt cultivation early on, but chakra control kept rising. 5% saved at LV1, 10% at LV2, 350. About 15% off versus the start. With extra practice on free days, Mind Reflection Art still hit LV2 only a day or two later than planned. Sharingan progress climbed 13 as expected, 58 to 71. LV2 Mind Reflection Art reduced hand seal speed, but did not lower the chakra cost. Useless to me there. Fortunately, the level up restored the previous Sharingan progress speed. 10 Mind Reflection Art proficiency still drives 1 Sharingan progress for now. How long that holds remains to be seen. I never expected to clear it in one push. If it were that easy, a UCHIHA would have done it. Likely LV3 Mind Reflection Art is needed before Sharingan can finish. For me, that is not difficult. Other skills also climbed. Taijutsu, Substitution, Transformation, each over 100 points thanks to Jiru-sensei's drills. Chakra Control jumped 2 whole levels because it can be ground anywhere. Great Flame Ball gained only a dozen since each cast costs at least 100 chakra. The big move, Chakra Max from 910 to 1,546. Civilian-born Chunin average. The gap between people is sometimes wider than the gap between people and dogs. People say Kakeshi has low chakra reserves, but even with constant Sharingan drain he still uses Lightning Blade and Chidiri several times, A and S rank techniques. With Genjutsu like Sharingan illusions counted, his real chakra volume is probably over 10,000, by the panel's math. Low chakra is relative. Many Jonin would not even reach Kakeshi's floor. I have a lot of headroom. Next day, 9 in the morning, the mission office. Hayato's voice carries from afar. Xiangmyang, over here. He waves. Shizuko stands quietly. Changmyang-kun, she greets me. Shizuko. Hayato grumbles I cut it close every time. There was no malice. Sensei said 9 and it is not 9 yet. Sigh. He mutters about always being so mysterious. I let it slide and quietly grind chakra control by gathering chakra in my feet. Anytime, anywhere. Slower than tree climbing or water walking, but constant. 4 or 5 days more and I should hit LV3, saving 15%. Past LV3, the soul's only method will plateau. I will need new methods. The Yamanaki puppet thread technique is my candidate. Condensing chakra into fine threads requires exceptional control. If I can get the training method, my chakra control should climb. But that is later. The priority remains awakening the Sharingan. 9 sharp. A figure appears silently. Jiru-sensei. Sensei. He nods, glances at my feet, and says since everyone is here we head inside. We follow. Past the gates, a spacious hall with a ring of wooden counters and Chunin staff behind them. We approach. Sensei. What mission this time? Hayato asks out of boredom. Picking up trash or babysitting. No, we are taking a C rank. What? Even I show surprise. In Canova, new gen usually clear 8 or more D ranks before touching a C rank. It is also the minimum threshold for the Chunin exams. D rank missions normally have no combat. Chores for rookies. C rank means combat. Not other shinobi but bandits, mountain outlaws, robbers, underworld thugs. Not absolutely safe. Over the past half month we had only done 4D ranks, far short of the standard for a C rank. Kunova is accelerating our growth. Almost instantly I reached this conclusion, and the urgency tightens again. Kunova has not sent us to the front lines, but they are not raising us step by step either. It will not be long before our batch heads to the front. Great, we can finally leave the village. Hayato is still cheering. I do not say much. He needs to grow too. Jiru-sensei collects the scroll. Mission: Mountain Bandit Subjugation. Content: a group entrenched on Tora Mountain, hurting the trade route. Difficulty C rank. Requirement: kill all bandits. Reward 75,000 Ryo. Direct combat. Jiru-sensei values practical ability. Even among C ranks, combat missions are harder than escorts. Bandits seeing shinobi escorts often back off, so escorts can finish without blood. Direct combat means real fighting. Logically, a first C rank starts easy and works up, but he has gone hardest first. Hayato falls silent. Shizuko's face turns pale. They are children around 10. Even with academy training, killing is different. Even I, an adult, feel a ripple. I grew up in a peaceful era with instinctive reverence for life. Predecessors' memories cannot break that worldview overnight. But the shinobi world treats life as cheap as grass. Without crossing this line, only death awaits. Self-protection means letting others die so I live, and these mountain bandits are not good people. Killing them is removing a harm. I push the convincing through and exhale. Mood calms. Jiru-sensei offers no comfort. Go organize equipment, meet at the village gates at 10 tomorrow morning, do not be late. He vanishes in a body blink. I leave too. Hayato lifts his hand to say something, lets it die. Home. I sit upright a while, then pack. 6 shuriken, 15 kunai, a roll of steel wire, 5 soldier pills, a jar of ointment, 2 rolls of bandages, 3 common talismans, a pack of explosive tags. Maps Jiru-sensei brings. Then cultivation. Finish today early. Reserve chakra for tomorrow. Bandit suppression is simple, but I am leaving Kunova. Wartime infiltrators exist, and even if their main aim is logistics or assassination, a chance encounter could kill us. A Jonin under siege cannot guarantee Genin survival. Hope sits with the higher probability that we never meet enemies, but hope is not a plan. I close my eyes and refine. Next morning, 9:45, the village gate. Hayato and Shizuko are armed but lower spirited than yesterday. Hayato forces a smile, yawns, asks why I'm here so early. I ask if they slept. Shizuko has panda circles. Hayato says it is nothing. They did not want me to see them rough. I look unchanged and even more energetic. It makes them feel inferior. Jiru-sensei appears. Sensei, equipment ready. Yes, move. He takes off. We follow. Hours of silence. The tedium calms Hayato and Shizuko. Several hours later, the sky darkens. A few hundred meters from Tora Mountain, we stop. The pace was not fast, but it was sustained. Hayato and Shizuko are exhausted. Shizuko nearly collapsing. Conviction kept her upright. Jiru-sensei is fine. After my own physique improvement plus chakra reserves, I am only mildly winded. Hayato has a little reserve, but no fight in him. 2 hours rest, mission begins. Hayato and Shizuko slump and swallow soldier pills. I take 1 tube but climb a tree, pull out a telescope, observe Tora Mountain while light remains. I bought the telescope this morning. Without detection ninjutsu, it is the next best thing. Why be careful with Jiru-sensei nearby? He had said earlier that on arrival he gives no opinions or advice and takes no action. Everything is on us. Fortunately, the bandits show no sign of warning. I had wondered briefly if Jiru-sensei would deliberately leak the info to harden the mission, but he is not insane that way. Actually, I had misjudged him. He pushes practical ability hard, but considers endurance. Hayato and Shizuko are at their limit. He would not pile more on. Watching me, he almost laughs to himself. He had guessed my thoughts. By the way, am I really that insane, he wonders, recalling his own past? Seems not. He grows fonder of me anyway. Hard work and cultivation matters, but the key is being neither arrogant nor impetuous, serious and cautious. Caution is essential for a shinobi. Of the 3 of us, the one most likely to survive the battlefield is me. Survival is personality before strength. Strength alone cannot save anyone in a meat grinder. I hope they all survive, he thinks softly, then flashes to another tree, gaze passing through mountains as if to the front lines. Crack. Bone fractures. I withdraw my hand from a bandit's head, the corpse slumping. The man had been the last sentry on the upper ridge, half asleep against a pine, kunai loose in his belt. He had not even seen me before the strike. My hand is shaking. The breath I let out has more in it than relief. The first kill of a life is supposed to feel like crossing a threshold. Mine feels more like falling through a thin floor I had been standing on without realizing. Phew. Hayato, Shizuko, sentries and hidden scouts handled. Next we move. Shizuko, you watch the path down. Handle anyone who slips. I keep my voice level because anything less than level would let the tremor out, and a tremor passes faster than any signal between 3 new Genin who are all afraid in different ways. She nods, still nervous but firm. Hayato, you come up the mountain with me. No problem. He is more composed than Shizuko, a child of the shinobi world. Then begin. 3 hours since arrival. 2 hours rest. 1 hour clearing sentries. Now the assault. Calling it an assault is generous. The sentries' mouths gave us numbers. About 50 on the mountain originally, fewer than 40 now. The pattern of their watch is sloppy, the rotations long. The men assigned to the worst hours visibly drunk on whatever the leader had not bothered to confiscate. They had not expected anyone to come. The trade route was their hunting ground, and bandits do not plan for the day shinobi escorts arrive. As long as no extraordinary existence is here, the pressure is mostly psychological. Hayato and I are adapting fine. Shizuko is the worry. Interrogating the captured sentry was already the closest she had stood to a man who was about to die, and her fingers had shaken on the kunai when the moment came. I had stepped in and finished it, told her flatly that hesitation on the mountain meant our throats. She nodded, mouth tight. She is not weak. She just has not yet learned the trick of becoming someone else for the seconds the work demands. Under moonlight, we step on rocks and branches and approach the camp. Camp is generous. A wooden building plus about 20 huts. No fence. The dense sentries make sense now. They were scared of death. I make hand signals. Hayato and I split, working from the perimeter inward. The wooden building at the center holds the leader. Stay fast and we keep surprise. Puchi. A blade enters flesh. Inside a hut, I cover a bandit's mouth and drive a kunai into his chest. His eyes go through confusion, pain, fear, gray. I watch the whole arc. I am forcing myself to accept and adapt. Until I have power to change the world, I learn to live within its rules. I exhale, confirm dead, leave. The hut sat outermost, single occupant, no risk of alarm. Pick another similar hut. Observe through the door crack, single occupant, pry the door, slip in. A breath later I leave. Smooth. The target was still asleep when I cut his throat. I move like a reaper through the huts, harvesting silently. The first kill is the heaviest. The second is lighter. By the fifth, the motions feel like training ground drills with a different ending. The blade slides between ribs at the angle my predecessor's memories tell me to take. The throat under my left palm goes silent because I have already learned how to muffle a man before his lungs can shape a word. Not skill earned by living, skill borrowed from a dead boy. I take what I can use and do not waste the gift on guilt. If it could continue this way, easy. It does not. On the 10th life, a terrified scream cracks the night. My hand pauses, then finishes the kill faster. I flash outside, find the source. A bandit is sprinting from a house, clutching his neck and shouting enemy attack. Hayato chases out and stabs him through the heart. The voice cuts. The camp wakes. I kick down a door, cross fast, end the two inside who have not figured out the situation. Repeat. Hayato drops stealth too, both of us racing for kill count. When the chaos quiets, 12 remain. The leader stands among 11 huddled around him, expression ugly. Tread, tread. Hayato and I emerge from the houses. A bandit shouts about Konoha Shinobi. We are finished. War has crossed into civilian recognition. In peacetime, they would not have placed us. The leader slaps him. Bah, just two little brats. Everyone charged together. He leads. And 6 shuriken flip from my fingers. Luve 2 ninja tool throwing is no joke. A Chunin might dodge or parry. A bandit leader cannot. He drops half a step in. Ah, the boss is dead. The 11 scatter in every direction. Hayato and I split after them, leaving the ones running for the path down. Shizuko stands at the path, thoughts swirling. Worry for our safety. What to do if enemies come. Then footsteps. Not Chongmyong. Too heavy. Not Hayato. Too tall astride. Enemy. Worries vanish. She moves. 2 bandits sprint up the path, glancing back in fear. Whoosh. A kunai pierces the lead bandit's calf. He stumbles and falls. The second halts, sees a girl half-adult height walk out, sees the forehead protector that 2 demons had used to slaughter his comrades minutes ago. Then he sees her delicate face. Hope flickers. He drops to his knees, kowtows till his forehead bleeds. Please spare me. I was forced. I have 2 children at home about your age. If I die, they will not survive. I beg you. Pity stirs in Shizuko. Could it be true? If she kills him, the children. While she struggles and a sliver of relief shows on his face, a kunai flies and pierces his throat. I step in, pull it out, walk to the second bandit who has frozen in terror, and put my kunai through his chest. Cheongmyong. Do not think too much during a mission. I cut her off. Do not forget the requirement. I head down. She stands rooted, then murmurs, kill all bandits. The mission was 0 survivors. Letting one go would technically fail us. I am not Shadow Core and not obsessed with mission text. I did this so Shizuko learns the lesson. Thinking too much during a mission gets people killed. Team 7 will be a unit for a long time. I do not want to be dragged down by foolish kindness. When it is time to be cold-blooded, be cold-blooded. Of course, this is also expedient. I will not just do whatever the village says forever. That path makes one a Shadow Core tool. Once strength increases, I make my own choices. For now, be a good tool. At the foot of the mountain, we regroup. Jiru-sensei reappears. His gaze sweeps us. Not bad, he leads us back to the village immediately. Wartime, no camping. Several hours later, dawn at Konoha. Smooth and uneventful, almost surreal. As expected, I am not the protagonist. The world does not revolve around me. In the stories I had read in my previous life, every mission a young shinobi takes turns into a multi-arc saga involving rogue jonin, tailed beasts, ancient grudges, and at least one moral dilemma about whether to spare an enemy. The reality is that most missions end with a dozen dead bandits in a ditch, no one of importance noticing, no one writing a song about it, and the Genin going home to refine chakra. The thought of how every random Ninja World mission escalates to S rank gives me a headache. Fortunately, I do not have a tailed beast. That level of bad luck is not mine. 3 days off. Goodbye, sensei. Home. I sit a while, then take off equipment piece by piece. Kunai pouch, shuriken holster, flak vest, bandages, each item heavier than it felt this morning. The mission was a single day but feels long. I went from someone who never killed a chicken to an executioner with 20 lives on his hands. The math of that does not feel real. It will feel real later, in pieces, in dreams. In the moment, some unrelated thing reminds me of a face I had not realized I was memorizing while I worked. Even after telling myself they deserved it, the deaths replay. Cultivation motivation is hard to summon, but I cannot afford pause. I force my mind steady and grind chakra refinement step by step. Killing those bandits cost almost no chakra. Reserves are still abundant, do not waste them. The proficiency climbs and my heart calms. 2 cycles, noon, exhausted, sleep with troubled dreams. 3 days later, northwest of Canova, a forest. Team 7 arrives. Is this the place? Yes. Gather medicinal herbs as the mission requires. Do not pick the wrong ones. A D rank from the UCHIHA clan. They own the forest. Various herbs grow here that resist artificial cultivation, plus a herd of deer whose antlers are precious medicine. Even shinobi from the same village cannot enter without permission. Hayato grumbles that ordinary people could do this. Shizuko corrects him about beasts wandering in. Hayato lets it go. 3 days were enough to reset their minds, but the C rank stayed in their faces. Childishness diminished. Likely Juru-sensei is in the village's intent. I gather chakra in my souls and follow them in. Chakra control over 4 days has climbed from LV2, 350 to LV3, 3 of 1,000, 15% saving on technique cost. The ordinary person ceiling. With the system I gain ground steadily, but at LV3 the proficiency rate has cratered. 5 points a day at most, against earlier 40 or 50. Not worth dedicated time. Spare time training only until I find a better method. Cheongmyeong hurry up coming. Time crawls, D rank after D rank. A week passes, night home. I let the special chakra from the mind reflection art dissipate and open the panel. Chakra 14 of 2011. Chakra refinement LV2, 360. Substitution transformation clone LV2, 2070-260, 250. Great flame ball LV1, 30. Mind reflection art LV2, 110. Taijutsu LV2, 280. Ninja tool throwing LV2, 380. Chakra control LV3, 25. Sharingan stuck at 81. Mind reflection art at LV2. 110 should have moved it to 82 by my pattern. It did not. The thing I had worried about happened. The 10 proficiency per Sharingan rate breaks down past 81. Soon 10 will not be enough. Then 20 or 30 will not. A road with no visible end. Other Uchiha would either give up here or wait for traditional awakening. Either path effectively kills the technique's rule. Not me. With the system, the road has an end no matter how long. Still, push the mind reflection art harder. Other panel notes. 3 body techniques, taijutsu, ninja tool throwing, all up about 100 each over 10 days, normal rate. Chakra max should have hit 2026 theoretical from 120 refinement proficiency. Actual is 2011, 15 short. The bucket is reaching its limit. Refinement accelerates excavation but cannot raise the ceiling. The gap will widen. Eventually, refinement only restores chakra. The max stops moving. Awakening the Sharingan is the path back to higher physique. The body is a vessel that the bloodline can reglaze. Without that reglazing, the vessel sets at its current capacity, and any further refinement only refills it faster, not bigger. This is the architecture of the panel I have been studying since transmigration. Stat caps interlock with bloodline thresholds. Bloodline thresholds interlock with skill levels. Skill levels interlock with daily chakra throughput. Pull on any single thread and the others tug back. The cleanest way through is the bloodline thread, because cracking it loose pushes physique and spirit at once, and those in turn unlock everything else. I close the panel and start a fresh round. Cheongmyeong, over here. A street in Konova. Hayato waves. Shizuko stands beside him. I walk over. Hayato grumbles, I am too slow. Where first? Normally I would not waste time shopping, but I have been wound tight. After some hesitation, I accepted the invitation to relax. Half a month since Mind Reflection Art's effects started fading. In those 2 weeks, Juru-sensei pulled us through another C rank, Escort, not Bandit suppression, with trouble inside expected scope, no real danger. Once again, I sigh that not having a tailed beast is nice. Let us go there. A new ramen shop opened. I look. A line forms. Quality probably good. Then I hear the names. Obito, walk faster, we have to make up the birthday Rin missed. Ah, Kakeshi, do we really have to? I will treat you, do not pay for me. Obito, Kakeshi, Rin. I look toward the voices. 3 small figures coming together. One in front facing away, the back of his clothes bearing the Uchiha crest like mine. Obito. 2 behind him, a boy and a girl faces visible. The girl is Rin. The boy is around 11 or 12. Silver-haired, short sword on his back. Mask, expression cold. Kakeshi still under his father's shadow. Sharp perception. I am marveling. And the moment our eyes meet, a chill drops into my heart. Predator stare. The killing intent in his gaze is not directed at me specifically. It is the resting state of someone whose nervous system has been calibrated for combat from the age I've been learning my multiplication tables in my previous life. Kakeshi's father is the White Fang of Konoha, and Kakeshi has grown up not on stories of his father's exploits, but in the literal forge of those exploits. Sparring with JONIN grade adults from age 6, watching them drill through ninjutsu that should not have been shown to a child until 12, absorbing the combat reflexes of the village's most lethal generation as casual household furniture. My heart trembles. I look away. Chungmyung, what is wrong? Shizuko, concerned. Nothing. I walk on. Eyes meet again, no fear this time. I had killed only defenseless bandits and robbers. Kakeshi has lived through mountains of corpses and seas of blood. Different levels. Fear is fine as long as I overcome it. On the other side, Obito turns to see why Kakeshi paused, sees the Uchiha crest, recognizes me as a junior from the clan, withdraws, asks Kakeshi what is up. Kakeshi just shakes his head. Both groups arrive at the ramen shop, them in front, us behind. Obito and Hayato chatter, Rin and Shizuko occasionally chime in. Kakeshi and I stay silent. They get their meal and leave. I watch their retreating backs and mutter, they must be back for the Chunin exams. Konoha holds Chunin exams twice a year, early January and early July. It is now late November. Their ages and timing line up. A month is plenty in peacetime, tight in wartime. The vast majority of Jonin are cannon fodder. These recommended ones are not. They carry specific battlefield missions. Calling them back requires arranged replacements and escort for safety. They are the village's future, a generational gap if lost. So they would not all come back at once. Seeing 3 a month early is no surprise. Likely the first batch, more will return over the coming month. But Chunin exams. Gut feeling. After the exams, our batch goes to the front. I do not have much time. The urge to go home and cultivate hits hard. I look at my teammates and suppress it. I had decided to relax. Do not give up halfway. Sharpening the axe does not delay the wood cutting. This rest funds harder cultivation later. Cheongmyeong, what flavor? Spicy. The shop's spicy broth burns the tongue in a way that briefly drives every other thought out of the head. And that is exactly the kind of 2-minute mental break I need before I get back to drilling. Hayato orders the salt, Shizuko orders the mild miso. 3 bowls arrive almost simultaneously, the steam fogging the small wooden counter. And for a few minutes, Team 7 sits and eats like the children we technically still are. Lunch ends. We split. I head straight home and start cultivating. The half-month of D-rank chores and the C-rank escort have been a cost in training time, but I have spent the long marches running chakra control on the souls, banking proficiency on a skill that does not interrupt anything else. Half a month away on missions delayed me. Chakra refinement that should have leveled days ago is at LV2. 495. Almost there. Hours pass. Sun sinks. A sense of realization wells up in my chest. After a long while, finally lev 3. I refine an hour more. Panel. Chakra, 1,650 of 2,510. Sharingan, 81 going up to 85. Chakra refinement, LV3, 2 of 1,000. Substitution, transformation clone, LV2, 430, 420, 410. Great Flame Ball, LV1, 50. Mind Reflection Art, LV2, 260. Taijutsu, LV2, 450. Ninja Tool Throwing, LV3, 1. Chakra Control, LV3, 78. Lu 3 Chakra Refinement. Recovery up from 200 to 400 chakra per hour. Max gain from 4 to 8 per hour. Estimate since my max plateaued at 2,500 a week ago and only rose 10 naturally. My potential exhausted a week ago. Without raising physique, future chakra growth will be slow grinding only. Lu 3 Refinement is now mostly a rapid recovery tool for me, not a cap raiser. Still worth grinding for the day my physique jumps with the Sharingan. The architecture is the same as it has always been. Every level of every skill is a multiplier on whatever ceiling the underlying body offers, and a multiplier on a stuck ceiling still pays off because the moment the ceiling moves, every multiplier compounds at once. Genius is largely the difference between people who understand this and people who do not. That day will come before LV4 refinement. LV3 to LV4 needs 1,000 proficiency at 1 per hour and at most 8 hours a day usable. 125 days, 4 months. Sharingan will awaken first. Half a month of grinding only moved it 4 points, 81 to 85, against 150 Mind Reflection Art proficiency. But it is closer. Lu 3 refinement also raised daily usable chakra from 2,400 to about 3,500. 3,000 on mind reflection art with the LV3 chakra control. 15% saving means 17 to 18 proficiency per day. Sharingan awakens within 4 months easy. Actually much faster, since mind reflection art will hit LV3 within 2 weeks at this pace and accelerate. Other skills. 3 body techniques all above Lev 2. 400 near cap. If LV3 is the cap for basic ninjutsu, I am close. Soon I learn another technique. Not offensive. Great Flame Ball and the eventual Sharingan cover that. Defense is thinner. Hinova's defensive ninjutsu list is thin, so escape is the alternative. Body blink technique enters consideration. 3 categories. Ninjutsu type, Shisai's Tobirana's Flying Thunder God. The second Hogaiki's the standard Kunova body blink. Taijutsu type, Mayoto's leg muscle acceleration. The 8 gates, and Flying Thunder God spatial transfer. The first 2 are misnamed. Only acceleration. The third is true flicker. My goal is not Flying Thunder God. Even with the system, the training method is Forbidden Vault knowledge, and I am a gene without Minada's road paved. The standard body blink. Common, universal, high-cost performance. Perfect transition. Once I am stronger, I have more choice. Taijutsu is almost level 3. Ninja tool throwing already hit LV3 but stuck at 1 of 1,000, because without Sharingan that is its limit. I still need the Sharingan. Sigh. I close the panel and grind mind reflection art. Sizzle. Chongyong. Prepare to intercept, it is heading your way. I press the headset. Okay. From a tree branch, I see a giant wild boar charging recklessly. I throw a kunai. It slices the air like a bullet and strikes the left eye. Blood trails down. The boar roars. Roar. Animals in the shinobi world are absurd. Massive size aside, vitality is tenacious. With an eye pierced and the brain damaged, it is still leaping. But this ends here. I raise my right hand and ignite the explosive tag tied to the kunai. Boom. Crimson flame envelops the boar. It wails and crashes through trees, including mine. I switch perches. Flame dies. Boar still. I do not approach. I throw another kunai and pierce the other eye. Poochie. The boar bolts up, smashes through several trees, collapses again. I watch its chest stop heaving. A beast is just a beast. Playing dead exposed itself with a heaving chest. I do not fall for that trap. Now I confirm dead. Hayato and Shizuko appear. Cheong-myung, you are way too wasteful. Why use an explosive tag when you have Great Flame Ball? Using an explosive tag on a wild boar is not cost-effective. Even with mission reward, I take a loss on settlement. But it saves chakra. Performing ninjutsu would also build proficiency, but my focus is elsewhere. Spending money to keep chakra for what truly matters is not a loss. A week has passed since the encounter with Kikeshi and the others. During this week, aside from eating, sleeping, and missions, I poured everything into cultivation. 3 body techniques all hit LV3 mastery. Clone, substitution, transformation under a second each. Sharper than many chunin, they are basic E rank, so any chunin who works at it can master them too. Chakra control also climbed LV2 to LV3. I had hoped for another chakra cap jump like LV1 to LV2. No such luck. The bucket holds. Spirit growth is not that easy. Many shinobi are stuck as chunin their whole lives because raising spirit even once requires deeper body methods. LV3 chakra control needing more than this to budget makes sense. Mind reflection art added 125 proficiency over 7 days, LV2. 260 going up to LV2. 385. Sharingan progress moved 85 to 87. The rate is not getting worse. I am waiting for Mind Reflection Art LV3. If it accelerates enough, I awaken to Sharingan before the Chunin exams end. Otherwise, I go to the battlefield with naked eyes. The news is in. This year's graduates will go to the Land of Rain along with the newly promoted Chunin. Every drop of chakra matters. I have shelved the body blink plan for now. Aside from necessary uses, all chakra goes to the Mind Reflection Art. Without the Sharingan as a trump card, I have no real security. Hayato and Shizuko, the forest is full of beasts and our quota is heavy. Wasting a few explosive tags is fine. The mission is to drive out all wildlife within 10 kilometers. Kill at least a third. Conventional methods would burn time and chakra. Money saves both. I leap to Area 2 without waiting for Hayato to argue. Behind me, Hayato asks Shizuko if I have been irritable. She nods. She had noticed too. Shizuko, after looking around to confirm we are alone, repeats what her JONIN exams our group goes with the new Chunin to the front lines. What? Hayato cries out. He hates D ranks but he knows the front lines are different. Shizuko shushes him and tells him not to spread it. They overthink it. The news will be public soon. They head to Area 3. A month flies. Today the Chunin exams final round runs. Many go to watch. I do not. With a thought I open the panel. Sharingan progress. 99 of 100. One step away. Mind reflection art. LV3. 595 of 1000. The accelerated effect after reaching LV3 was real. 50 proficiency now drives 1 Sharingan progress, 4 times the LV2 rate. For over a month I poured nearly all chakra into it. The Sharingan should have awakened when Mind Reflection Art hit LV3. 550, but the last point refused to budge. Now at 595, it still has not. A vague intuition tells me LV3. 600 is the threshold. I take deep breaths until my heart calms, then perform the Mind Reflection Art. Once, twice, 3, 5. Lu 3, 600. 6 cast. The special chakra surges in my brain, floods to my eyes, hits a critical point, fundamentally changes the optic nerve. A sour, astringent itch makes me rub my eyes. When my hands move away, blood-red Sharingan look out from my sockets. Everything around me clarifies, like image quality going from 720 to 1080p. Dust in the air, leaf veins outside the window, smiles on distant pedestrians, all crystal. So this is Sharingan vision. After a long moment, I come back to myself. Looking down at my own body, I cannot see chakra meridians and tenketsu like the Byakugan, but I see chakra volume and its general flow. Right now my chakra is low and still gathering toward my head and eyes. The residue of the awakening still settling into the optic nerves. The flow is not just a number. It has texture, pressure, intent. I can feel where my own chakra is dense and where it is thin, where it pools at the dantian and where it leaks faintly from the soles where chakra control sits half-finished. In future battles with the Sharingan open, this lets me predict any move. A clenching fist gathers chakra at the knuckles before the punch lands. A seal sequence shows itself as a chakra surge rising from the chest into the fingertips, telegraphing the technique a half-second before its name. A genjutsu cast pushes a strange viscous current at the eyes, easy to spot once you know what to look for. No wonder Canova says, facing the Sharingan, 1-on-1 flee, 2-on-1 strike from the rear. In a same-strength matchup, the Sharingan has every advantage, and Uchiha children are taught from the cradle that the eye is not a weapon but a frame through which weapons are chosen. That is just the insight effect. The Sharingan also offers hypnosis and copying. Hypnosis breaks ordinary genjutsu and strengthens my own. Copying replicates taijutsu and ninjutsu, but limited by the user's own capabilities. Copied taijutsu requires matching physique to use. Force it and you injure yourself. Copied ninjutsu cannot include clan techniques, and ninjutsu of mismatched chakra attribute cannot be replicated either. With my fire attribute, I can only copy fire-style ninjutsu until I develop other attributes, and even then only deeply if my form and nature transformation understanding is deep enough. With these limits, only Kakeshi, all attribute and exceptional talent, became the copy ninja. I deactivate the Sharingan and open the panel. Age, 10 going up to 11. Physique, 6 going up to 7. Spirit, 7 going up to 9. Chakra, 230 of 2,510, going up to 2,570. Bloodline, Sharingan, single tomo, 1 of 1,000. Chakra refinement, LV3, 266. Great Flame Ball, LV1, 50. Mind Reflection Art, LV3, 601. Ninja Tool Throwing, LV3, 1. Chakra Control, LV3, 102. Substitution Transformation Taijutsu Clone, LV3, 0 of 0. As expected, Awakening boosted attributes. Physique up 1, Spirit up 2, and Spirit gains are more than 10 times harder than Physique gains, so the Spirit jump is the real prize. The Physique gain is more byproduct, body finally cashing an accumulated foundation thanks to the Sharingan as catalyst. Both basic attributes push potential further, which means chakra refinement has somewhere to act again. Next session, the chakra captured rise once more, and I estimate at least 1,500 more. The bloodline column changed from unawakened 99 of 100 to single tomo 1 of 1,000. A progress bar means I can grind it like other skills. 2 questions remain: how to grind, and what the Sharingan costs in combat. A week later, departure for the front lines is closer. The news is fully public. Graduates plus newly promoted Chunin and unpromoted Genin plus a large number of clan shinobi all head to the Land of Rain. The streets around the mission office are choked daily with families saying farewell, vendors selling traveling kits at marked up wartime prices, civilian relatives haggling over how much of their savings to press into a son's hand before he leaves. The mood is brittle in a way I have not seen in this village before. A forced cheer in the merchants and a quiet, resigned focus in the shinobi. Of all places, the Land of Rain sits at the junction of earth, fire, and wind plus several smaller countries. Every great shinobi war grinds through there. Sand, stone, Canova, bounty hunters, the land's own ninja, Hanzo's forerunners under the Akatsuki banner, intelligence and reconnaissance, every faction overt and covert. There is no part of the Land of Rain that has not, at some point in the past 3 years, hosted a skirmish, an interrogation site, or a mass grave. Local farmers have learned to read the patterns of distant flame ninjutsu the way coastal villagers read storm clouds. Children born in the rain since the war started will not have a single year in which they do not lose a relative to chakra they did not understand. The pressure keeps every shinobi on edge. The smallest disturbance means a fight to the death. The Land of Rain is the notorious shinobi graveyard. The phrase is not poetry. It is bookkeeping. The body count out of this country is double any other front, and most of the dead are buried where they fell because no one alive can be spared to carry them home. I cannot avoid it. Defection is impossible. Clan and village resources plus my Sharingan would put me on the black market acquisition list. Hunted wave after wave. Better to follow orders, with Sharingan as trump and the panel guiding growth. Play it safe. I should not be in mortal danger. The Sharingan testing across the week answered both questions. Cost. Idle activation runs 1 chakra per minute. Combat costs scale with environmental complexity and active ability use. High-intensity fights could burn me dry in 10 or 20 minutes. Idle all-day Sharingan is fine. I will not put myself in the dangerous case. Proficiency growth. Mind Reflection Art still helps. And now stronger. 10 Mind Reflection Art proficiency drives 1 Sharingan proficiency. But 10 Mind Reflection Art proficiency costs about 1,700 chakra. With my daily ceiling of 3,500, I can only earn 2 Sharingan proficiency a day this way. From single tomo to 2 tomo needs 1,500 days, a year and 4 months. Too slow. The second method I found while testing cost. Continuous Sharingan activation drives proficiency 2. 5 hours of cumulative active time grants. 1 proficiency requires only 300 chakra, over 4/5 cheaper than Mind Reflection Art's 1,700. Excluding sleep and meals, the daily window is around 15 hours, but with disturbances 7 days only netted 29 proficiency, with 8 from Mind Reflection Art and the rest from continuous activation. The Mind Reflection Art still cannot stop. Keeping the Sharingan secret means it has to keep leveling. A few days remain. My combat methods are thin. I will pad the skill bar. First, Body Blink, a lifesaver. No more delays. Second, the other 2 ninjutsu my parents left. Phoenix Saga Flame for area of effect. Fire Style Dragon Flame Bomb for medium range. Third, Genjutsu. With the Sharingan I want a real combat Genjutsu beyond the Mind Reflection Art. My parents left Majin Hari Jigoku, Sharingan tailored. Easy choice. Boar, tiger, rat, ox, hare, boar. 6 seals fast as butterflies through flowers. Phoenix Saga Flame. I exhale sharply. Flame seeds shoot from my mouth like phoenix flower seeds, flying towards 7 or 8 large trees. Sharingan, I activate. Pupils blood red, a single jet black tomo spinning like a windmill. With insight I weave the flames mid-flight, crossing between the trees accurately striking. The visuals are intense, but that is the point. The technique combines illusion and reality, dazzling distraction concealing the killing strike. In extreme cases I can hide shuriken in the flame seeds. I form seals again and throw shuriken with the cast. Heat-glowing shuriken hit the trunks. A flesh and blood human cannot withstand that combination. Genjutsu cannot kill, they say. Combine physical and elemental, and no one walks away. The waste of shuriken is a real cost. A tool pouch is limited. Use this combination only in critical moments. I open the panel. 10 days since awakening. 3 days into Phoenix Saga Flame. Thanks to Great Flame Ball as foundation. After about 30 repetitions, Phoenix Saga Flame hit 100 proficiency LV0 to LV1. Cost about 2,500 chakra, would have been 3,000 without chakra control's 15.5% saving. Fire Style Dragon Flame Bomb came next. Practicing 2 Fire Style ninjutsu in succession built my form and nature understanding of fire chakra. About 40 attempts mastered it. 3,000 chakra, total of fire ninjutsu over 3 days. 5,500 chakra. The remaining chakra went to Majin Hari Jigoku and Body Blink. Majin Hari Jigoku is Sharingan tailored and learned easily. 20 repetitions, 1,000 plus chakra. During Majin Hari Jigoku practice, I noticed the Sharingan's proficiency growth had increased. Testing revealed that intense Sharingan use during Phoenix Saga Flame and Fire Style Dragon Flame Bomb practice was the cause. Use it or lose it. Approximately twice the active time rate, but at 1,000 chakra per Sharingan proficiency it is far costlier than the 300 for time only. My current chakra cannot sustain it daily. When my refinement raises the daily ceiling, I can luxuriate in this method. And the bonus is that the combined skills also accumulate proficiency simultaneously. Body Blink is a D rank 30 chakra minimum per cast at LV0, 50 at LV1, more for longer distance. I mastered it easily. While grinding I waste no chakra beyond the minimum. Tap. Footsteps. I form seals and spit a giant fireball. The great flame ball detonates among the trees, flames engulfing everything. Clap, clap, clap. A figure flashes in. Yuhi Senpai. He is Yuhi Hibiki, 18, 3 Tomoe Sharingan awakened, recently rising UCHIHA Clan genius. I had never heard the name in my past life. Likely dies in this war or to Itachi later. An anonymous corpse. He nods, says my training is good, then tosses me a scroll. The body blink technique I had applied for. Do not spread it. Right. Beyond the techniques my parents left, I had also requested the Shadow Clone. Every Canova Genin earns 192 Genjutsu Taijutsu requests from their clan after graduation. I had not used mine. Heading to the battlefield, I had to. I genuinely wanted it too, as skills level the proficiency required compounds. A Shadow Clone is a physical clone that transmits experience and memory back. Perfect grinding partner. Efficiency unknown but worth testing. I take the scroll, scan it, thank Yuhi Hibiki. The scroll is shorter than I had expected for a D rank. Body blink is not a complicated technique, just a focused chakra burst at the soles plus a release pattern through the calves and thighs. Most of the scroll is foundation theory, how to fold a chakra surge in a way that minimizes recoil, how to land without telegraphing the next step, how to chain the technique into a substitution or a Phoenix Saga flame without paying the seal cost twice. He does not linger. After confirming he has truly left, I pocket the scroll. Why so cautious? Too many secrets. One exposure brings endless trouble. That is why I burned the cultivation traces with the Great Flame Ball when I detected him approaching. Sharingan-assisted ninjutsu casts differently than non-Sharingan. Phoenix Saga Flame in particular shows precision differences experienced Uchiha can read at a glance. Better to ash everything than gamble that Yuhi Hibiki is not Uchiha or could not tell. Beyond cultivation traces, I keep my chakra below 2000 whenever I leave the house. Sharingan, Byakugan, and various sensory ninjutsu can read chakra volume to estimate strength. 2000 is the safety line. Below it I cannot handle surprises. Above it I attract attention. Usually no one focuses on a small fry like me, but I keep the discipline. The question for the journey is whether to maintain it once we leave the village. Inside Kunova, enemies will not strike recklessly. Outside, anything. Falling into a trap with insufficient chakra would be the joke of my life. I sigh. I just hope the team is large enough on departure. Then I grind shadow clone technique. 3 days later, departure morning. I dress, tie pouch, fasten forehead protector, shoulder pack, walk through streets. The morning light is gray and even. The air still cool from the night. The first vendors only just opening their shutters. I pass a tea stall where an old man is steaming the day's first kettle, and he glances at the forehead protector on my forehead and the pack on my back and gives a short formal nod. I return it. There is no need for words. Half the boys he has watched walk past his stall over the years have not walked back. I see other shinobi heading the same way. Large bags, small bags. Today is the day. Gather at the village entrance. Count, then march for the land of rain. Many people are already gathered. Dozens of flatbed carts line up. Food and ninja tools full to the brim. Supplies we are escorting. Wars test logistics in the end. If logistics fail, the war fails. So besides us rookies, many JONIN from prominent clans accompany the trip. That eases me a little. My chakra inside is 2000 points. I could not unleash full strength even if I wanted. I had ultimately decided to maintain my usual state. I do not believe my luck is so bad that 2000 chakra would not handle whatever comes. If it could not, I would just run first out of respect. Chongmyeon, over here. Hayato waves from beside a flatbed cart with Shizuko. As I approach, Shizuko cuts in to ask how my body blink is coming. I learned it from Jiru-sensei rather than spend my clan request on a D rank. JONIN teachers have a teaching obligation. Jiru-sensei did not hesitate after seeing my Great Flame Ball. D rank is nothing to me. Body blink is now LV2, 15 of 500, under a second per cast. Adhering to my low-key style, I just say, I have already learned it. Is that so? Chongmyeon, have you truly learned it? Hayato cannot stay calm. He had practiced body blink alongside me when Jiro-sensei taught it. Diligent enough to use it in normal situations though not in combat. Pride for him. He had thought my progress would track his. The truth is otherwise. For months together he knows my style. I downplay strength. I never inflate it. So when I say I learned it, the actual proficiency is far past that. He fills with negative energy. Did not catch up again. I sense the shift. Guess the reason. Do not comfort him. It is the truth. Where is Shizuko? Has she not arrived yet? Shizuko is always first. I check the time. Close to assembly. Hayato also looks toward the gate and spots her hurrying. Shizuko, over here. She forces a smile and walks over. Why are you so late today? Shizuko shakes her head, forces another strained smile, says she just woke up late. Then you should set an alarm. Like me, Hayato says earnestly. Whether he is genuinely thoughtless or deliberately easing her, I do not call it out. Anyone with eyes sees through it. Shizuko's swollen eyes are from crying. We are heading to the front lines. The cause is family farewell. This is a real world. War is war. Shinobi have emotions. Family, friends, and once dead, the people behind them are wrecked. So most fear war, but rules and concepts force them to accept it. A twisted world. I sigh inwardly and quietly wait. The team fully assembles. The Hoge Kiruzan appears and gives a passionate speech. He invokes the will of Ember, the founder's dream, the duty of the leaf to the land of fire, the sacrifice of the previous generation. The cadence is practiced and the imagery is sharp. Whoever writes his speeches has been writing them for 30 years and knows the rhythms that lift a roomful of children's hearts. His words are inflammatory enough that the young Genin and Chunin look ready to charge into battle right now. Even Shizuko smiles a little. Only the JONIN are unmoved. None of them came up without a mountain of corpses behind them, and empty words cannot move that. To stir a JONIN, you bind them with practical benefit or righteousness. The Hogake was not chosen by everyone. He was chosen by the previous Hogake who was chosen by the one before. The will of Ember is real to those who hear it for the first time, and an open question to those who have buried friends in its name. I file the sentiment under things to revisit when I am old enough to make my own. I shake my head, too far for me to think about. Strength is the path. If you do not like someone, knock them down. Why think so much? The politics of who runs the village will matter to me only on the day my own strength sits in a position to be courted by it. Until then, the names on the Hogake Mountain are weather, not strategy. The team marches. Roughly 30 Jonin, 60 to 70 special Jonin, 3 to 400 Chunin and Genin combined, plus dozens of supply carts. Slow movement. 2 weeks to leave the Land of Fire and reach the borderlands. The countryside thins as we move. The lush green of the Land of Fire gives way first to scrub farmland, then to abandoned fields where last year's rice is rotted in standing water, then to the no man's land between countries where the only structures are way station shrines, half tipped over by old shockwaves. Inside the Land of Rain we meet continuous drizzle, often 2 or 3 days without sun. The drizzle gets into everything, into the rope of the supply carts so the knots have to be retied each morning, into the seams of our flak jackets so the inner lining never quite dries, into the powder of the explosive tags so the Chunin in charge of supply has to ration their distribution and threaten to demote anyone caught air drying tags on a fire. The men who have been on this front before walk through the rain without complaint. The new graduates spend the first week miserable and the second week resigned. Slower still. Nearly another week and we reach a canyon. Through it and another few dozen miles takes us to Konova's outpost in the Land of Rain. Our destination and the carts. The deep canyon ahead makes my eyebrows twitch. Sheer rock walls rise on both sides for 100+ meters, the sky narrowed to a strip of gray above. The floor of the canyon is scattered with old rockfall and the bleached bones of pack mules, half buried in scrub. Proof that other convoys have come this way and not all of them have come out. The drizzle slicks every surface. Footing for a fast retreat is poor. Even a battlefield rookie sees it as ambush terrain. The Jonin must see it too. Why are they taking this route? The bypass route would add 5 days to our march, and 5 days of supplies at this size of column means another 2 carts of food and another 2 days at a forward depot vulnerable to its own raids. Only absolute necessity explains it. Konova's frontline situation is worse than I had imagined. Otherwise, they would not maintain such a supply route. The math the Hogake's office had run before issuing this march order was not safety against ambush. It was the certainty that the outposts would fall in 2 weeks without these carts. Better to gamble a convoy than lose a flank. I do not love being the chip in that bet, but I understand it. Fortunately, the Jonin are not idle. They slow the team, dispatch search teams ahead into the cliffs. Time crawls. A huge explosion blooms from the distant rock wall, flame ball reddish-orange. It is a ninjutsu, there is an ambush. Defensive formation, the Chunin organize the Genin around them by proximity. Special Jonin move to specialty, combat support charge out to assist Jonin reconnaissance. Perception types sit and cast detection ninjutsu to block surprise attacks. Everything moves like rehearsal. Only us rookies know nothing and follow Chunin orders like puppets on strings. Fate in someone else's hands. Terrible feeling. I hold position and do not act rashly. A Genin like me cannot stand out here. 3 weeks of travel had let me grind a little. 3 or 4 hours daily, around 1500 usable chakra per day, all into mind reflection art to avoid attracting attention. Mind reflection art now LV3, 875 of 1000, raising Sharingan proficiency by 19 to 69 of 1000. Chakra refinement also climbed 3 or 4 hours daily and 3 full days before departure. LV3, 454 of 1000. Chakra max gained 864 points to 4074. The body limit is approaching again. Around 5000 max it should plateau. Better than expected. Boom. A second explosion from the side cliff and metal clanging follow. Iwagi hidden stone uniformed Jonin fight kunai with Konova Jonin and over a dozen Chunin flanked them. The cliff face is already a chaos of dust and fast-moving silhouettes. The geometry of the canyon traps the sound and folds it back on itself, so every clash arrives twice and you cannot tell which strike is real and which is its echo. Lower-ranked Konova Chunin push the Genin into a tight ring, weapons outward, every face I can see drained pale by the killing intent rolling down the rock walls. The killing intent in itself is a weapon. For the first 10 seconds of any major battle, half the Genin will be too frozen by it to react, and the side that has trained its rookies to survive that 10 seconds wins the opening exchange. Konova drills against killing intent. Iwagi knows this and brings a bigger one. Sharingan. While no one watches, I quietly activate. The world clarifies. With the eye open, I can pick out the chakra signatures on the cliff like lights in a dark window. The Iwagi Jonin burn brighter than their Chunin, and behind them I count 3 more signatures climbing in reserve. Not just an ambush. A staged one, with second-wave reinforcements waiting for the moment Konova commits to defending the cliff. Those Chunin, while the kunai engagements occupy attention, simultaneously slam hand seals onto the rock wall. Not good. I deactivate, grab Hayato and Shizuko, and pull them backward. They stumble, but trust me, rocks crash down where I stood. A meteor shower. Genin around us are buried under piles of rubble. Alive or dead, I cannot say. We have no time to check. Iwagi shinobi appear at both ends of the canyon, close to 100 all Chunin and above. Numerically, Konova still leads. Qualitatively, Iwagi has prepared. More than half our team is Genin, many fresh graduates. Hopefully, the frontline senior shinobi react quickly. I look at the cliff battle, take a deep breath, Whisper to my teammates, do not stray far from me. Their hearts steady. They look to me the way a younger sibling looks to an older one in a thunderstorm. Not because the older one can stop the storm, but because being near someone who is not panicking is itself a small shelter. I would help them within my capability. 4 months of being a unit means something. But if it is impossible, I will not force it. From the beginning, I have prepared mentally. Kill. The shout from somewhere flips the switch. Roars, screams, weapon clashes, ninjutsu impacts all at once. Our position near the center of the team has scattered formation due to the rockfall. Easy targets. Over 30 Iwagi Chunin Earth-style underground toward us, planning to split the convoy in half and maximize casualties. I sense one of them quietly, draw a kunai, and the moment he emerges I throw. Ah, the kunai pierces his eye socket. Blood slides down his cheek. He tries to see his ambusher. A second kunai hits his heart. Eyes close. Simple looking, not so simple. 3 things were required. Precise enemy positioning, kunai accuracy for one-shot kill, and psychological steadiness despite Hayato fighting another Chunin 2 paces away. Kunoichi, the Iwagi Jonin engaging a Kunova Jonin, shouts in fury at the sight, forces him back, charges me. I do not dodge. I push off and meet him. Clang, 2 ninja blades crash. Sparks fly. Close up I read his face. Rage at the dead Chunin who must have been close to him. He who kills will be killed. On the battlefield, one must be prepared to die. I would not be passive when others are trying to take my life. No psychological burden. I parry, retreat half a step, press in, clang clang clang. Lu 3 taijutsu to its full. No profound techniques, but I match the Jonin. We pull back and stand still. The Iwagi Jonin's lost rationality returns. He is reluctant to admit it. This young Uchiha can make him take me seriously. In close combat I am not much weaker than him. Without his combat experience and adult physique I might have had the slight edge. I am also reading him. I can confirm I can take him, but I scan the field. Chaos. Konova has the numbers, but the tight canyon stops Jonin from fighting freely. Iwagi shinobi keep diving into the crowd, using Genin as human shields. Konova Jonin hesitate to use powerful ninjutsu, even careful with explosive tags. The Iwagi Jonin in turn move freely, racking damage. Nearby, several Chunin are already down. I can take this Jonin, but doing so attracts more. A tree that stands out is destroyed by the wind. Geniuses are targeted by Jonin from every village. Killing Kunoichi reads as a sneak attack. Killing a Jonin openly would not. I do not want to be a trailblazer. Stalemate is the play. Konova's outpost cannot be far. Reinforcements may come at any moment. Iwagi's purpose is damage and weakening, not all out fighting. They will not stay long. Hold for that window. I cannot let him idle. I form seals. Body blink, appear before him like a gust and engage. D-rank body blink shows teleport-like effect only against someone weaker. Same or higher level opponents perceive it as a slight speed bump. He blocks my motion, but his ninjutsu sequence is interrupted. He had planned to ninjutsu me. Iwagi's strength. Detected. He has no chance. From here, every time he tries to seal cast, I interrupt. Close combat or kunai throwing, forcing him into pure taijutsu and ninja tool exchange, which is exactly how the land of Iron Samurai survive among shinobi. I do not have samurai speed and strength, but LV3 taijutsu plus LV3 ninja tool throwing suppresses a mediocre Jonin. Every time his fingers begin a seal, I can read the build of chakra in his forearms a half second before the technique forms. That half second is all I need to step inside his guard or put a kunai through the line of his hands. Plus Hayato and Shizuko, their throws are noise, but interfering noise, enough to keep him entangled. They have no precision yet, no ability to kill a Jonin even in his sleep, but they can force him to choose between blocking a slow shuriken from the side and finishing the seal in his fingers. He chooses the seal once, eats a glancing kunai across the shoulder, and never makes that trade again. I watch his rage burn cleaner now, into focus rather than wildness. A canny Jonin is more dangerous than a furious one. I cannot let him think. The Iwagi Jonin seizes a moment when battlefield aftershocks force everyone to dodge. He completes seals quickly and unleashes Iwagi's signature. Earth-style stone spikes. Dense spikes erupt from the ground in a wave. I yank Hayato and Shizuko back. Narrowly avoid. Before he can second wave I let go. Palm 3 kunai, throw at throat, heart, lower abdomen. He skips sideways. The earlier kunai had left a deep impression. He respects them now. If my eyes had shown anything, he would have assumed I had Sharingan. Only awakened eye Uchiha wield kunai this smoothly this young. Caution kept it secret. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Shuriken from Hayato block his escape routes. He parries them. Eye body blink in. Entangled again. Hayato and Shizuko interfere on cue. Damn it, the Iwagi Jonin thinks. I am fighting his sparring partner and he cannot vent. A kunai flies from the side. At me, not at him. Be careful, be careful. 2 warning shouts at once. I retreat. Whoosh. Kunai grazes past my eyes. Peripheral vision shows another middle-aged Iwagi Jonin charging me, with a Kunova Jonin pursuing. The Kunova Jonin is the captain who organized our defense. He is putting out fires across the field. The middle-aged Iwagi Jonin had set his sights on me. If I stay passive, I get surrounded. I strike first. 6 shuriken. 3 to block escape, 3 for predicted movement, 2 for chest and abdomen vital points. The middle-aged Iwagi Jonin's response is slightly stiff, surprised by my counter-decisiveness. The delay lets the Kunova Jonin close and engage him in fierce exchange, but it also gave the first Iwagi Jonin breathing room. Even as I throw, he throws a kunai at me. I dodge. He pulls away, completes seals, slams palm to ground, Earth-style fissure, cracks a Zang widespread fan shape from his palm toward me. Hayato and Shizuko's interference shuriken miss because their experience cannot read the opening. Ground shakes. I form seals at maximum speed and body blink past the cracks before they engulf me. This kind of earthquake ninjutsu is brutal on shinobi who cannot fly. If he had fuller chakra and more mastery, I could not have stayed standing. Fortunately, it is over. The Iwagi Jonin's expression is constipated. I rush in. 3 kunai land first. He sees the explosive tag tied to 1 and retreats. Boom. Flame and shockwave surrounding battlefield falls quiet. I do not pause. Under cover of the explosive tag's fire, I close, then suddenly stop as he expects close combat, and my hands form boar, tiger, dog, ox, rabbit, tiger. Phoenix Saga Flame. Fireballs like phoenix flower seeds rain on him. He had a premonition the moment my seal started. Now it lands and he can only dodge. Left, right, fireball after fireball. He avoids being engulfed but cannot avoid all. Clothes scorched in many places, blisters on his face. My Phoenix Saga Flame is not high level. The flames are average power, and without active Sharingan, I cannot strike precisely. Minor injuries only. I have a backup. Without waiting for chakra to settle, I form seals again. He panics, tries to ninjutsu escape, but a forceful Sharingan energy push hits his mind. An image of me throwing a kunai appears before his eyes. Reflex, dodge sideways. Then a piercing pain in his chest. Kunai in his heart. In his last moment, he looks up, sees my arm has not finished moving, and murmurs, "Is it genjutsu?" Majin Hari Jigoku. I could not use the mind reflection art. It requires Sharingan, and I am not exposing it. Majin Hari Jigoku is nominal genjutsu, but its main role is Sharingan evolution. Even so, the effect I produce, with proficiency at LV3 near LV4, is not weaker than a typical C-rank genjutsu. Though it is rated A rank, in the form I use it disturbs senses enough to see the false image. He saw the kunai throw early, dodged the false image, and walked into the real one. One-hit kill. No one would have thought a mere Genin had mastered this many skills. Whoosh. A weapon flies at me from behind. I lean sideways, dodge, turn. Another Iwagi Jonin abandons 2 Genin he had been suppressing in charges, while a third one closes from the other side. 2-on-1 incoming. I had anticipated this. The middle-aged sneak attacker had marked me. Targeting was a matter of time. Since I cannot hide, I take initiative. That is why I killed the first quickly, to break their rhythm. Now they have no choice but to abandon their original targets and converge on me. On the surface, I shielded those Genin. In deeper accounting, the danger has decreased. 3 becoming 2 is an immediate gain, and the free Genin will draw Iwagi attention away. Control rhythm and I do not face more. I draw a kunai and rush them. They glance at each other and rush me, intent on close combat. Most shinobi short of true Jonin have limited chakra and avoid frequent ninjutsu, especially in chaos. Never know when you are emptied and someone walks up. Every shinobi calculates carefully. My 1-on-1 against the first Jonin showed close combat skill. 2-on-1 they do not believe I can match. Even with the ninjutsu kill of the first fresh in their minds, they trust their numbers. Reality plays out exactly as they expected. Even with LV3 taijutsu mastery and a wave of practical experience from the first Iwagi Jonin, 2-on-1 is too much. 2 trained Jonin coordinating without speech is the cleanest demonstration of why the village ranks them above Chunin in the first place. Every attack one of them throws covers the angle the other is closing on, and any defense I offer to one creates an exposure the other is already moving to exploit. Several superficial wounds open on me but do not affect combat. Clang, clang. I parry both attacks in succession and step back. They do not pursue immediately. They flank left and right and close, working psychological warfare while moving. Kid, stop struggling, surrender now and we may spare your life. Yeah, look around. Anyone who can help you. I glance. Everyone nearby is fighting. No one can help me, not even Hayato and Shizuko, who are 3-on-1 against a young Iwagi shinobi with another Genin assisting. Not optimal but no immediate life threat. I exhale and refocus. Without Sharingan I cannot beat them in close combat 1-on-2, but they cannot kill me quickly either. Stalemate is exactly what I need. Time is on my side. Reinforcements solve everything. They see I am unaffected and stop wasting breath. Clang, clang, clang. Lu 3 taijutsu, perception fully open. Slight disadvantage only. A minute or 2 passes. One Iwagi Jonin pulls back, intent on a ninjutsu cast. Not good. The other intensifies the assault to keep me from disengaging. Should I use the Sharingan? With surprise I could one-shot the engaged Jonin, but I cannot guarantee hiding it from the second. Exposure means a swarm of Iwagi shinobi converging. Every awakened Sharingan Uchiha is a high-value target, and the Sharingan is not protected by Kekkei Genkai. Without Sharingan I am not necessarily in mortal danger. The loss of control feeling is what bothers me. Just then, several piercing whistles ring across the battlefield. The frantic attacker freezes, exchanges a glance with the retreated one, and both seal-cast Earth-style and break for the perimeter. Retreat. Surprise and relief. I no longer have to choose. They are running. Stop them. Other shouts ring out. I do not move. Iwagi retreating means Canova reinforcements have arrived or are close. A massive creature appears on a distant cliff. Gigantic horned snake with purple markings. Predator aura. Bigger than the buildings I had grown up living in. Its scales catch the dim canyon light and throw it back in oily greens and violets, every plate the size of a hut. The killing intent rolling off the summit alone forces every chunin in the canyon to pause mid-strike, the way a pack of wolves will go silent at the smell of a tiger upwind. The vibration of its bulk shifting on the cliff face dislodges loose rock that tumbles 100 meters down before any of us hear it land. The shinobi at the back of the column visibly drop into deeper stances, weapons readying, then realize that no stance helps against a creature on this scale and let their weapons fall again. This is a boss summon, and a boss summon does not appear on a battlefield by accident. Manda, standing on its head between the horns, is a pale-skinned, sinister-looking man with golden vertical pupils and purple eyeshadow. The chakra signature alone, even at this distance, pushes my Sharingan-assisted senses back, heavy, layered, with the deep glassy quality of someone who has been refining for decades. Orochimaru, the first reinforcement. Even half the Iwagi Jonin in the canyon flinch at the sight. The chunin around them stop attacking entirely for a full second, looking up at the cliff in undisguised horror. A single Sansen on the field is the kind of variable no junior commander is briefed to handle. I had not expected him in person. He is Kanova's supreme commander on the rain front. Leaving the outpost looks rash, but as one of the Sansen he matches Cage Evelo. The outpost is not far. If ambushed, he stalls until support arrives. With Manda, he can cross fastest and stabilize the situation by raw strength, buying time and reducing casualties. As I predicted, he immediately blocks over a dozen Iwagi Jonin with a few ninjutsu. Counting other Canova Jonin's interceptions, nearly half the attacking Iwagi Jonin are caught here, plus dozens of chunin. The whistle was their emergency retreat order. That is why my engaged Jonin flinched and fled. One top-tier expert flips a battlefield. I have no interest in kicking dogs while down. I take out ointment and bandages and treat my superficial wounds. Hayato and Shizuko walk over, also wounded but mostly shocked by the carnage. Severed limbs, blood, minced flesh, groans. Standing is already good. Roughly 200 plus Canova survive of the original 300 to 400. About 2/3. The battle ran 10 plus minutes. Iwagi Jonin specifically targeted shinobi to kill, so chunin death rate is over 50%, and most of that is new chunin. A field of corpses, most of them classmates you knew. I am better off. I knew few of them. Hayato is sociable and Shizuko meticulous. Their pressure is enormous. Chongmyong, do you think we will also die on the battlefield one day? Hayato asks. The question is not asked in fear, exactly, but in the flat half curiosity of someone who has just spent 2 hours stepping over the bodies of people he had eaten breakfast with. I open my mouth to say no and stop. The reflex answer would be cruel. The honest answer would be worse. The casualty rate is moderate now in early to mid-war. When Canova is pushed to the village gates, it will be tragic. Even Jonin die in droves. I cannot promise my own survival, let alone his. After silence, I say, do not overthink it. Just try your best to survive. Try your best to survive, Hayato murmurs, as if turning the phrase over in his mouth to see if it will fit. Beside him, Shizuko looks down at her hands, which still have dried blood under the fingernails from the bandit she killed on the path, and from the chunin she just killed minutes ago in the canyon. She is 12 years old. She will be on the front lines for years if she is lucky. There is no honest version of this conversation. I let the silence return. 5 minutes later, the second wave of reinforcements arrives, including many medical 9. Canova has more medical nin than any other major hidden village. Survival rate of the wounded reflects that. Tsunaba's reforms over the past decade have written this advantage into the village like a brand. Every Chunin team is supposed to carry at least one member with basic mystical poem, every Jonin team at least one with full medical certification, and the standard kit of the field medical reserve runs to twice what other villages provide. The cost is brutal. Medical training is one of the most chakra control intensive disciplines in the village, but the payoff is the fact that I am sitting here at all. Under combat shinobi protection, they move across the battlefield, treating with medical ninjutsu. Minor injuries heal on the spot. Severe injuries get stabilized. Watching my wounds heal, I decide to learn a few medical ninjutsu eventually. Chakra in. Problem solved. Until my physique can self-heal, this is the safety net. The medical nin finishes me, says no water and no strenuous exercise for 3 days. Thank you. He hurries on. Whoosh. Jiro-sensei appears. We rise. As a Jonin, he could not stay with us. Sensei, is it over? He scans us with satisfaction. You are all alive. Excellent. We stay silent. He had been through this and chose not to comfort us. Survival of the fittest is his philosophy. After a pause, Pack the team departs in half an hour. With luck, we reach the outpost by dark. He vanishes. We pack. I had thrown my pack during the battle, but we are the winning side and can search at leisure. Half an hour later, the convoy moves on, a small portion staying behind to clean up. The cleanup detail is mostly JONIN, who drew the short straw, burying or burning bodies, retreating usable equipment, marking the canyon for the village's quartermaster records. Their work will take through the night and into the next day. None of us in the moving convoy look back. Looking back at this point is a habit the village has trained out of us specifically, because looking back means stopping, and stopping in the land of rain means dying. Night in a tent in dense forest. I refine chakra. We have arrived at Konova's outpost in the land of rain. Per Jiru-sensei, the next period adjusts our mindset and adapts us to the battlefield environment. No demanding missions. Rare opportunity. I will lift my strength another notch. From today's battle, without Sharingan, I am only slightly above an average Chunin. One-on-one fine, two or more risky. Even at full power without Sharingan, I cannot reach Jonin, and a special Jonin in a non-support role would likely beat me. The 2-on-1 moment in the canyon had brought that home cleanly. Leave 3 taijutsu, 2 functional fire ninjutsu. Leave 2 substitution and body blink. And still, the only thing keeping me alive when both Jonin pressed simultaneously was the unspoken understanding that they were not yet sure I was worth their full attention. 2 Tomoe Sharingan would help. Months away. Not waitable. Instead, I raised the levels of several ninjutsu and genjutsu in the short term. Self-preservation matters more than Sharingan progress. If I die, the Sharingan is moot. The grim joke is that on the rain front, the rate at which Sharingan progress accumulates is highest in life-or-death fights, and the rate at which I am likely to be killed is also highest in life-or-death fights. The two curves trade off cleanly. The trick is to take just enough fights to keep the eye improving, without taking the one fight that ends it all. I do not yet know how to read that line. A month later, outside the outpost, 4 figures move through the forest, 1 large and 3 small. Team 7 on patrol. Increasingly important defensive areas mean increasingly dangerous missions. The forest itself has changed since we first arrived. The trees have lost most of their leaves to repeated fire ninjutsu over the past weeks, and the underbrush has the trampled, fought-over look of land that no animal has dared linger on. Even the birds are quieter than they should be at this hour. Initially, encounters were every 10 days or half a month, and easy. After we adapted to the battlefield, we got moved to harder zones. Now every few days yields enemy traces. Most have fled by the time we arrive, but a few times they have not. We have learned to read the freshness of a footprint by the rate at which the impressed earth springs back, and to read a campsite by which side of the fire pit was used, to sit, and which to sleep. None of these are skills the academy taught. They are the skills you acquire by living long enough to be the one explaining them later. Fight to the death. The infiltrators are not easy. The team leader being a true Jonin saves us casualties. The environment trains us hard. Me, Hayato, Shizuko, all shed student demeanor. When we stop at a checkpoint, I take vigilance, Hayato and Shizuko check traps and markers. No one speaks unless necessary. Today, the last point is clean. We exhale and head back to the temporary encampment. Late night at the encampment. I finish another chakra refinement. Lu 4. The breakthrough had crept up on me through a string of high-stress evenings. I had not realized how close I was until the threshold cracked and the new tier opened in a single warm pulse from sternum to spine. The hand seal speed alone is unimaginable. At LV4, the seals for refinement compressed to 2 from the original 5, and at LV5 they will likely vanish into pure chakra, shaping the way the great Uchiha Elder's refinement is described in the clan's old scrolls. The Sharingan evolution effect is significantly stronger. I close my eyes and sense the special chakra nourishing my eyes. After it dissipates, I cast refinement again. 5 repetitions. Each pulse runs warmer than the last, and by the 5th I can feel something settling into the optic nerve that had not been there when I started. A faint rotation just behind the iris that wants to become a second mark. The Sharingan feels another step from 1 Tomei toward 2 Tomei. Panel. Sharingan proficiency up. Mind Reflection Art LV4. 6 of 2000. 5 points of Mind Reflection Art proficiency now drives 1 Sharingan proficiency, twice the LV3 rate. 850 chakra per Sharingan progress now versus the previous 1700. Still pricier than Continuous Activation's 300, but good news. As Mind Reflection Art levels up, its effect on Sharingan accelerates. The downside, my chakra max plateaued at 5026 a week ago. Basic potential exhausted. Future growth slow grind. So I cannot luxuriate in chakra spending. Daily ceiling stays around 3,500 until I find a new lever. Other skills. Phoenix Saga Flame, Fire Style Dragon Flame Bomb, Body Blink all at LV2, costing over 46,000 chakra to push that far in the relaxed first half month before the camp. Faster casts and broader power adjustment. Combat power leveled up. The harder second half month meant Majinhari Jigoku stayed barely past LV1. I diverted chakra to Mind Reflection Art and to Body Blink, which climbed LV2. 15 to LV2. 234. Majinhari Jigoku at LV1 is enough for surprise attacks. Without Sharingan, I cannot use it openly, so leveling it is not urgent for now. Ninja tool throwing and chakra control had stagnated at LV3, but post-Sharingan started moving again, especially ninja tool throwing. With the Sharingan's help, LV3, 60 climbed to LV3, 210. In throwing alone, I am an expert. Chunin of similar strength take threats from my throws. Killing solely with throws is a pipe dream. Even at LV4 with Sharingan, only against weaker opponents. Shadow Clone technique sits at LV0, 5. Practicing eats too much chakra. One Shadow Clone with no action still loses 10% of transferred chakra on Dispel. With 5,000 chakra, one clone splits to 2,500 each. Dispel costs 250. 4 clones at 1,000 each lose 400 on Dispel. The more clones, the more loss. Even minimum drilling costs 250 per attempt. I gave up. Practice when chakra is abundant. I have more time than chakra. For now, Shadow Clone is shelved. 2 hours later, I refined chakra to 2,000 points in sleep. Tomorrow's mission needs energy. The discipline at this point is automatic, refined to a tactical buffer rather than a full reservoir. Leave room for a recovery cycle in the morning. Never go to bed empty because nighttime is when surprise raids happen and an empty shinobi is a corpse waiting for an excuse. Later that night, boom, an explosion in the distance jolts me awake. I am out of the tent fully equipped before I realize I moved. Captain Toshio, our squad leader and a middle-aged Jonin, is already outside. Sounds of fighting carry from afar. Patrol and defense alternates between 2 squads. First squad day, second squad night. The second squad is currently engaged. Hopefully the second squad caught the enemy mid-infiltration and forced the fight. If not, this is a coordinated raid and the trouble is significant. As I think this, sounds of fighting bloom from 2 other directions. Coordinated raid confirmed. The purpose puzzles me. This is just a temporary outpost without important facilities, and the main outpost can support it. Iwagi cannot hold it. Eliminating active forces? There are no famous Jonin here either. The math of an Iwagi assault on this position does not balance. Cost of mobilizing 6 Jonin and a dozen plus Chunin. Cost of crossing 20 kilometers of Kanova patrolled forest. Cost of accepting Kanova reinforcements arriving within an hour, against the gain of breaking a small camp that would be rebuilt within 3 days. Either I am missing the strategic context, or the raid has another purpose entirely. Bait, distraction, body identification, intelligence, and the camp is the cover story. Passing through. Should be quieter. With incomplete information, I drop the theorizing. Captain Toshio gives orders. Attention everyone. First team, here. A slender Jonin with 3 Chunin steps forward. I know this one. Seiya, frail looking but actually no weaker than Jiro-sensei. Seiya, your team holds the camp. Yes. Second, third, fourth teams, with me to support the second squad. Yes, Captain. I do not understand the call to keep Seiya here. He should be supporting. Captain Toshio explains by ordering Seiya to summon his familiar. Seiya bites his thumb. Blood flows. 5-hand seals. Boar, dog, rooster, monkey, ram. Summoning technique. A night owl appears. He casts a vision link genjutsu to share owl's sight. Limited range but excellent reconnaissance. Captain Toshio's intent. Seiya stays and relays real-time intel to the outpost via the owl link, so the outpost can support or counter-encircle precisely. Owl, follow our movement and transmit intel. Flap, flap. The owl vanishes into the night. Captain Toshio leads us into the forest. Through dense trees we move fast. As we approach the battlefield, Captain Toshio raises his arm. We halt. Scan. Insects and birds have gone quiet. Only wind through leaves. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Hundreds of weapons fire out of the dense forest ahead like raindrops. Be careful, Captain Nakajima Hiroshi of the 3rd team roars. Hands forming seals at speed.